Josh Hamilton has ripped opposing pitching in the ballpark in Arlington all year. In fact, he's hitting .318 at home with 6 of his 8 home runs. And last night, he was at it again. He hit 2 out of the ballpark, one of which actually counted as a home run. Josh Hamilton loves home cooking, and he is back in action tonight on Fox Sports Southwest. The Rangers able to walk off with a victory yesterday. A 4-3 final on Nelson Cruz's game-winning sacrifice fly. The Rangers are now 3.5 games in first because the A's have already lost today. They're taking on the bottom feeders of the AL East tonight. That's the Baltimore Orioles finishing up a 2-game series here at the ballpark. And we welcome you to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, along with Tom Grieve. I'm Josh Lewin. Rangers yesterday got a very solid effort from Rich Harden and probably needed that.
Yeah, the Rangers were really looking for Rich to rebound from his start in Toronto. They wanted to see him throw more strikes, and he came out and he did that right from the start. He had a good fastball. If you're looking velocity, it was there last night, 92 to 95. If you're looking for better command, it was there as well. He ended up pitching a solid game. Still room for improvement, but that's definitely a start he can build on. He looked good.
Now, tagging Scott Feldman tonight.
Scott Feldman will be pitching tonight. He had a decent start in Toronto, one that he can build on. Tonight, the Rangers are going to look for Scott to bounce back and look like the Scott Feldman from last year when he won 17 ball games. He needs to keep his sinker down, keep the ball away from the middle of the plate, and if he does that, he should be successful.
We're trying to follow up on the success of Rich Harden yesterday. The Rangers trying to make it 10 wins in their last 11 games here at home. The Orioles yesterday got production from the bottom of the order. You're looking live at Cesar Izturis, and he is back in the lineup for the Orioles tonight as the Rangers in Baltimore play ball right after this. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Progressive. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. By Jack in the Box. Choose any three for only $3 plus tax. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Michael Young's hustle in the ninth inning yesterday set the table for the game-winning walk-off shenanigans. A 4-3 Ranger win. And yeah, they are now 3.5 games up in the AL West. They're not having too much fun, are they? On a beautiful night for baseball. 87 degrees, a little bit of a breeze here at the ballpark tonight. If you're in the area, come on out and join us. Got the Cubs coming in tomorrow, starting up a weekend series. One more with the Baltimore Orioles tonight. And let's check out the O's lineup. That's submitted by Dave Tremblay and brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Patterson and Wigginton, Markakis and Tejada. Former Oklahoma State Cowboy Luke Scott batting fifth, playing first base tonight. Matt Wieters and Adam Jones, Lou Montañez and Cesar Izturis. And as we've talked about, Scott Feldman is on the mound, trying to improve on that 5.89 ERA. We're scouting him out courtesy of Suzuki.
Yeah, his numbers don't look good. 1-4, 589. And his line didn't look great in his last start against Toronto when he threw 119 pitches, but he threw the ball better. He's had 3 career starts against the Orioles, including 2 last year, and they've gone well. He's 3-0. He's won every start. Opponents, the Orioles, have only hit .210 against him. And that would be nice to see tonight. A good, solid start from Scott, backing up a solid start from Rich Harden last night. And we get the top of the rotation working that way, and things generally seem to fall right into place.
Feldman wearing a beige glove, and I hope that meets with the approval of Orioles manager Dave Tremblay. Remember last year in Baltimore, Dave Tremblay wanted a darker glove on Scott Feldman, and that change was actually made, and Feldman pitched real well, really, with both gloves. Got a text yesterday wondering why is William Shatner managing the Orioles?
Denny Crane?
he does look like him, doesn't he? That is Joaquin Arias at first base, first time. So we'll see Joaquin. He's been working at that, and a brand new position for him. Matt Trainer is catching, and Joaquin still has that look like, what am I doing over here? But he really has been working at it with Ron Washington, and they're going to give him a shot tonight. Justin Smoak takes a night off for the first time in a long time. And with a lefty on the mound for Baltimore and Brian Mattis, you got a right-hand swinging first baseman. Joaquin Arias will be that man tonight. First pitch of the game fouled away by Corey Patterson. The thing about Joaquin Arias, I guess, Tag, that just is a little bit, I don't want to say off-putting, but it's just weird. I mean, because most first basemen are big, stocky. They're not wiry guys like Joaquin.
No, he doesn't have the traditional first base body, that's for sure. I think he'd feel a lot more comfortable at third, short, or second than he feels right now. But, you know, he's a middle infielder, so he's got good reflexes, good hands. I think the hardest thing for him will be knowing where to be on every play, when to be the cutoff man, when to field the bunt, when to get back to first, all those little things that you learn from experience. But physically, he should be fine over there. I almost like to see Patterson hit the first ball to him. Nice ground ball, take it himself, and get it over with right off the bat.
Feldman, when he's on, gets a lot of ground balls. And the Orioles with a lot of lefties in the lineup tonight, it could well be that Joaquin has a lot to do over there. Towards second instead. Kinsler with a backhand. One up, one down.
Well, you know, the Rangers really do have to have someone else that can play first base. Justin Smoak can't play every game. You know, I think Ron, with a young player, likes to give him a day off here and a day off there, kind of like he did with Elvis last season. And so you need somebody that can play over there. So they're going to get a little bit of a look right now and see if Joaquin can handle that. I'm guessing he'll do fine.
If Ty Wigginton can play second base, and he's the batter right now, then I guess Joaquin Arias can play first. It looks like they should swap bodies to get that done.
Well, if Joaquin plays first, like Wigginton played second last night, he's going to be real good, because even though Wigginton doesn't have a traditional second baseman's body, he handled himself very well last night. Had the range, the infield actions, dexterity, all the things you want to see in a second baseman. At least last night he had them. Looked good out there.
Which one's the first baseman?
I think he swung. Nope.
Doug Eddings said no. Doug Eddings said no yesterday as well on a ball blasted to left field by Josh Hamilton. That was quite a point of controversy.
Good call by Doug. He checked it. His whole body moved, but the bat never went through the zone.
That one's inside. The Rangers, of course, they won the game despite that missed call. It wasn't just Doug Eddings who missed it. A lot of people missed it. The umpires never did go to the video replay as they could have. And Dana DeMuth, the crew chief who had the authority to go in and look at the video, supplying our Geico quote of the day, he said he believed his guy. Doug Eddings said, I saw it white on green at the top of the wall, and Doug Eddings was 100% sure, and Dana DeMuth had the back of his guy. This ball blooped into left center field, a base hit for Wigginton, making Wigginton 5 of 8 lifetime against Feldman. No doubt a tough call for everybody yesterday. I mean, that ball just rocketed out and hit that support beam right behind what used to be the manual scoreboard out there. You needed to have that foot of room between the back wall and the front wall. Somebody had to be back there with the hand-operated scoreboard.
Well, if you went and could simulate 10 home runs, 5 of them hit the top of the wall and came back, and 5 of them hit the same place that it hit last night, and you had to stand where the umpires are and watch them one right after the other, you'd have a hard time telling which one was which. And so I have no doubt that Doug Eddings was 100% sure, based on what he thought his eyes saw, where that ball hit. But it's just a good example. On that type of a ball, your eyes can deceive you.
One strike to count to Markakis. And it dawned on me down on the field today, Tom. You and I sit up here, and we've got this view for the best seat in the house, I think. We look out in the bullpen. We very plainly see a chicken on the Chicken Express sign, right? There's no doubt that there is a painting of a chicken. From down on the field, if all you had was that seat on the field, or let's say you're a season seat holder in the first row, and I said, hey, how about that chicken that they have? You'd say, what chicken? You can't see it from down there. It's just a totally different perspective. We can see everything from up here. If you're in the first row down there, you don't see a painted chicken. You see the word chicken. And I think that's kind of what Doug Eddings was dealing with last night. From where he was, he couldn't see what the TV cameras could.
Well, I had a perfect view of it from up here, and I couldn't see it either until I saw the slow motion replay. There's no way that you could tell where that ball hit as it was hit. Now, when you went back and watched it several times, you could see it. But as it hit, there was no way to tell. You just make the assumption if the ball comes back on the field like that, it had to hit the top of the wall.
Although, and I'll just throw this one out there, and believe me, I didn't major in logic or anything like that, but knowing that that's a padded top of the wall, the way the ball shot back, that would have given me pause. I mean, it had to have hit something hard for it to rocket back like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rangers won the game, so just a little talking point for the Nick Markakis at bat. Ground ball into left field, a base hit. It's going to be 2 on, just 1 out. Boy, Nick Markakis continues to be a tough out. He's now a 300 hitter.
A little blooper off the handle by Wigginton, and now just he kind of slaps a ground ball. You get a little bit lucky. It goes right to the shortstop. You get a double play, but I think the one thing you want to see from Scott is keep the sinker down and get a lot of ground balls. Sometimes you're going to get ground balls. They're going to find a hole. But chances are, if Tejada hits a ground ball, like last night, maybe you turn a double play.
Now, we talked about Tejada as a guy that year in, year out hits into the most double plays in whatever league he happens to be in because he makes so much contact and hits the ball so hard. And again, Feldman, when he's got the cutter going, he gets a lot of ground balls. That stat right there doesn't help a team that's 13-28. Baltimore is already 16.5 games back. Tampa Bay continues to play so well. That's a strike according to C.B. Buckner. One thing we've definitely noticed about Feldman the last couple starts is when he has to go from the stretch, when there's runners on base, he really slows it down. Inside 2-1 to Tejada. Feldman with 119 pitches that last start in Toronto. Certainly wasn't a bad start. Most of the runs he gave up were right at the end. And he wasn't even on the mound when the last two against his ledger were scored on him. That was a Darren O'Day home run pitch. High drive. Josh Hamilton going back. He'll make the catch. Wigginton tags. Hamilton's throw cut off. Runners at the corners now. 2 down for Luke Scott.
Scott could use a quick out just to keep his pitch count down. He's thrown 20 pitches to the first 4 hitters. And the Ranger bullpen pitched 3+ innings last night. They pitched 4+ innings the night before. They had Harden's start in Toronto, which was not even a 3-inning start. They pitched a lot up there. And so it boils down to the bullpen could use a game where they only have a couple of innings to pitch tonight. It's they're pitching almost every other day, which isn't that bad early in the season, but if you project it over the course of a full season, you don't want your bullpen out there for 4 or 5 of them for 75 or 80 games. You have to figure out a way to get the starters deeper into the games so the bullpen just doesn't get worn out 2 months into the year. One thing the bullpen's been doing, I mentioned this the other day, that really helps in that regard is when they do come in, they don't throw a lot of pitches. They've been very efficient. They don't walk guys. They tend to get fairly quick outs, whether it was Frankie, Felice, Darren O'Day, Darren Oliver, all the pitchers out there. It's not unusual for them to pitch an inning and only throw 12, 13, or 14 pitches, and that makes it a lot easier to bounce back. It's not just the innings they pitch, it's how many pitches they throw when they're out there.
2-0 the count to Scott, and again it's a lot of pitches and a lot of time in between all of them for Feldman here in the top of the first. And Luke Scott has hit safely in 9 of his last 10. That includes a 2 home run game off of Zach Greinke. Matt Wieters on deck. Well, the Rangers with that win yesterday, 5 games over 500 for the second time this year. At 23-18, the only team over 500 in the West. Walked him on 4 pitches. And Mike Maddox has to make a first inning visit. That's a guy that Feldman had always handled really well. Scott 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts against him, and he couldn't throw a strike to him. Mike Maddox, as usual, a lot of physical contact out there with his pitcher. We'll put the hand on the shoulder. Friendly enough, casual looking conversation, a little go get him. And the guy he's got to go get has been anointed the savior of this Baltimore franchise. That's a lot of pressure, but Matt Wieters is a pretty special player. First pitch right to Joaquin Arias. Maybe next time he'll just wander over there all by himself. But hey, either way, it's all good. Relax. There are no runs in. And the Rangers get their shot when we come back. Joaquin Arias razzle-dazzle in that top of the first inning, and the Orioles did not score. The Rangers have their shot now against Brian Mattis in the bottom of the first. Southwest Airlines batting order: Elvis Andrus, Michael Young, Kinsler, and Guerrero. Look at all those 300 hitters. Hamilton comfortably into that 5 spot right now. Nelly, Cruz, Arias, Murphy, and Trainer. And the 23-year-old Brian Mattis will face the Rangers for the second time in his career. Here's the Suzuki scouting report.
He's only 2-3, but he's pitched pretty well. 8 starts, ERA just a little bit over 4. His last start was Saturday at Cleveland. He pitched great in that game. No runs, 7 innings, 7 hits. First time through the lineup has been much more successful than the second or third trip through the lineup for him. But he's a young kid, didn't have a whole lot of minor league experience. Got a good fastball, real good curveball. 4th pick in the draft in 2008. Got to the big leagues with only 113 minor league innings. But when you pick a polished college pitcher with the 4th pick in the draft, you don't expect him to spend much time in the minor leagues. And Mattis didn't disappoint him in that regard.
Mattis out of the University of San Diego and would match up a couple times a year against crosstown rival San Diego State. Their ace was Steven Strasburg.
Boy, those must have been fun to watch.
And they will be probably getting together head-to-head before too long in the Beltway interleague rivalry, Baltimore against Washington. Strasburg pitched last night. Number 1 pick in the draft of the Washington Nationals, and his 3rd AAA start was another beaut. That one outside. Elvis Andrus is on. Michael Young coming up as we check out William Shatner's defense. Patterson, Jones, and Markakis in the outfield. Tejada is Torres, Wigginton, and Scott in the infield. Luke Scott doesn't play a lot of first base either. We've talked about Arias in that regard tonight. Mattis and Wieters. That's the battery. There is Luke Scott holding on Elvis.
I'm hoping Dave Tremblay doesn't have the mad cow that Denny Crane has.
Dave Tremblay does a really nice job. He doesn't have all the tools, obviously, that he'd like to have in terms of a polished 25-man roster. The Orioles are working on getting back to their glory days here, but he was hired to be a guy that could be patient, could help young players develop. And at bottom, he is a teacher. Didn't have any professional playing experience. Played in college for a year at SUNY Brockport State in Western New York. But pretty much he was a teacher straight up. He taught in inner city LA. Middle school and high school phys ed, and then obviously on to being a baseball coach. But that's the kind of tack that I think he takes with the Orioles is, hey, we're going to just make sure we know what we're doing. We're going to take infield. We're going to be fundamentally perfect if we can. We're going to learn how to play the game. And then go hang out with Candace Bergen.
He really does look like her.
He really does.
If they ever make a movie about Dave, he knows who he can get to play his part.
As long as Shatner doesn't sing. Michael Young trying to bloop one down in the right center field, and he has. Andrews has to hightail it to second, and he is in. Both of the number 2 hitters tonight have bloop singles. Wigginton did it first. Michael Young has done it, and Kinsler's coming up with 2 on.
Mattis has a good changeup, good curveball. He really, for a young kid, really knows how to pitch. That is a pretty good changeup. Michael is way out in front, hit it right off the end of the bat, but just got it far enough to get over Wigginton's head.
Almost turned into a fielder's choice, but Elvis was able to get in there in time.
Mattis was called up to the big leagues last year, had 8 starts, went 5-2 in those 8 starts.
One of those starts against the Rangers, and in that game he gave up 3 runs in the first. Big blow was a David Murphy home run. That's a nice stat right there for Kinsler. He just continues to get on base. And looking very much at home in that number 3 spot.
And Ian's on base percentage is .446 right now after 19 games.
Ian didn't seem pleased with that last called strike.
Neither did the fans. You know, I don't think I've ever been to a park where the fans complained about the umpire more than Toronto. Yeah, almost every single pitch they were moaning.
On 0-2. Down for another base hit. Here comes Elvis Andrews. The Rangers lead 1-0.
It's another off-speed pitch that wasn't a terrible pitch. Ian was out in front of it, a little bit like Michael. And he hit it like Michael to left field instead of right field off the end of the bat, but just looped it over short for a base hit.
Was he trying to call time here? Or looked like he said something right before he took the swing.
Check it out. He was thinking about it, but he knew he didn't have time.
That hand went back, ready to call time, but, well, that's a better result right there anyway.
It looked like a slider, some type of breaking ball that had him out in front of it, but he found a hole with it.
Rip and a miss by Vladimir Guerrero. Well, a walk and 2 bloop hits. That'll work. Towards right. And Markakis, with a tremendous throwing arm, is going to make sure that Young stays where he is. Last time out for Brian Mattis, he was up 2-0 after 8. They turned it over to the bullpen. And the Orioles lost 8-2. Bullpen surrendered 8 in the 9th to Cleveland. Cincinnati almost had that happen today. They gave up 7 in the 9th. What a comeback for the Atlanta Braves at home today with a walk-off grand slam from Brooks Conrad.
Wow.
10-9 they win it. Hamilton takes. And yesterday he was swinging. Our Cruz Light pulled a hard blast. This is the one that actually counted as a home run. The other one, I'm sure you know by now, is a double. But since that day off that he didn't want to have on Monday, he's come back 4 for 8 with 3 extra base hits. And what a great at bat he had in the 9th inning yesterday. Kind of a less is more approach. I mean, there were some real close pitches from Alberto Castillo. And he watched them all go by, took a walk. Pitch kind of like that. He went from 0-2 to 3-2. Fouled one and then took the walk. On the ground slowly to first base. Little confusion. Mattis is barely there in time.
Boy, that was close.
Runner's able to move up.
Scott was thinking about going to second for the force out. He realized he probably didn't have a real good angle to throw it. Might not have had a good grip on the ball either. But he got it to Mattis in time, and they just nipped Josh. Replay shows there's the out by about a half a step.
Great shot. Now we'll see if Nelson Cruz can come through with a runner in scoring position. Actually, 2 in scoring position right now. And Ellie did that yesterday with a sac fly. Didn't count as a hit with a runner in scoring position, but the Rangers won the game. Second straight inning, if you think about it, that Cruz is up there with Michael Young at third. But this time it's 2 outs instead of 1.
Yeah, there won't be any jumping around if he flies out to center this time.
Any jumping here?
Yeah, I think there will be.
Jump around. Home run, Nelson Cruz. It is only the 3rd home run served up by Brian Mattis this year. And if not jumping, there will be hand slapping. It is 4-0 Texas.
It's an off-speed pitch. He throws a lot of off-speed pitches, and Nelly was able to wait on that and hammer it out of the ballpark to left field. And you got a guy like Nelly hitting 6th in your lineup. You know you've got a pretty good lineup. Down and in, not a terrible pitch. Caught the inside part of the strike zone. Just a nice job of hitting by Nelly.
Number 8 for Nelson Cruz. His first since coming off the DL. Remember, he had 6 on a stretch of 8 games to start the year. The last 2 put in play for Nelson Cruz. A game-winning walk-off sac fly and now a 3-run home run. Strike 1 to Joaquin Arias. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach for Baltimore, went out there and had a quick word or 2 with Mr. Mattis.
Nelly's got 29 RBIs now, and just a little more than half the amount of at-bats that the major guys have because he was on the disabled list for a couple of weeks. So per at-bat, he's doing some damage this year.
That ball with some crazy English on it. Joaquin Arias is safe. You could almost see that one coming. It just kind of squirted towards Wigginton.
Well, that ball, it was tough for Wigginton to decide whether to play back or charge it. I think if he could do it over again, he might just charge it all the way and try to catch it in the air, or maybe a short hop. And once he lay back on it and this ball hit, the spin was a little bit too much.
And the Orioles, who had come in with only 1 error in 63 innings as of last night. now have made 3 errors in this 2-game series. David Murphy, who had a home run last year against Mattis.
Well, both pitchers are going to throw a lot of pitches in the first inning. Mattis has thrown 26 now. Scott was a little bit more than that in the first inning, but got out of it.
Murphy down the third base line. It's foul. And again, Mattis, who had a 2-0 lead through 8 in his last start, already down 4-0 in the first inning tonight. Rangers looking for their 4th consecutive win. They've also taken 18 out of 27 now. Murphy drills it into right. And Arias tippy-toes around second. Remembers the scouting report on Markakis in that throwing arm. The Rangers have batted around now in the first inning off a prized young left-hander, Brian Mattis.
But maybe a cutter that catches all of the play. David reaches for it, yanks it right in the hole, hit it sharply.
A lot of the fans still settling in here. In the bottom of the first, they walk into the ballpark, see it's already 4-0. Off the glove of Trainer. Wigginton's play will be to first base, and it is barely in time to get Mattis out of the inning. The Rangers end up with 4 on the board, 3 off the bat, and Nelson Cruz. After one, we go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. Community Corner tonight. We have Chet Foraker. He is with Team Focus, great organization that gives guidance to young men between the ages of 8 and 18.
10 and 18.
10 and 18.
And young men that do not have a male role model in their home. We provide activities for them. We provide camps for them. We have a summer camp coming up June 13 through 16. There's still spots available. People can contact the website that's there on their screen, and they can be a part of it. We also need mentors to work with these young men.
A great organization. You see the number and also the information on the screen. And how about Team Focus, huh? Having a good time in the Community Corner tonight. Chet, nice meeting you. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it. Thank you. Josh.
Welcome, kiddos. It's great.
What a nice thing.
Did you get the irony there? They kind of unfocused on the Team Focus sign. That was very clever.
That went right over my head.
Very, very clever.
I thought it was a technical problem.
Nope. That's the artistry of director Dave Burchett right there. Adam Jones, who's hit safely in 11 out of 12. And Feldman just missing to him. They count 1-2. Jones was an all-star last year. He was part of that Eric Bedard deal coming over from Seattle. And not that the Mariners are unhappy that they went out and got Franklin Gutierrez to play center field, but well, can you imagine if they could say put Jones in left, Gutierrez in center, and Ichiro in right? That would have worked out okay.
Pretty solid.
Ball gets away from Trainer. He's going to have to hustle. He'll plant it. He'll fire. There's Joaquin Arias on the bag. And there's the strikeout.
Boy, Matt, I like the way Matt went after that ball and then took his time. He knew he didn't have a lot of time with Jones running, but he didn't want to rush his throw and make a bad throw. The ball's in the dirt. He gets it, makes sure he's got a good grip on it, and then fires it to Joaquin, and they just did get Jones at first base. Great shot of it right there.
Matt Trainer continues to prove his worth every game. Lou Montañez takes a strike. Montañez at one point was the number 3 overall pick in the draft. It took him 8 years to do anything close to significant in the big leagues. Gonna bloop that one near Kinsler. He stabs at it, dribbles it, and then it's played back in by Hamilton. Could be one of the most odd choices for a DH in a long time. Lou Montañez came in hitting 114. But he's on base here.
Well, the bloop has been a major part of both offenses tonight. Unfortunately for the Orioles, the Rangers also have a blast. They've got a couple of bloops in the long one.
Down too low to Cesar is Torres. Three bloops and a blast sounds like a 50s doo-wop group that you and, say, Bobby Valentine would have gone and seen at some point.
That's what Scott needs to do, keep the sinker down around the knees.
Now the double play in order right here is Torres yesterday. 3 hits and 3 runs batted in. He drove in every Baltimore run from the number 9 spot in the order. In for a strike 1-2.
Billy Burden is at the game tonight. He wants to say hi to James Burden, his grandfather, who's in the hospital right now, not feeling well. He's 91 years old. James, we hope you're watching. Hope the Rangers pull a win out for you. Billy reports that the last game James was at, he got a foul ball from Pudge when he was 81 years old. That was 10 years ago.
Pudge having quite a nice season for the Washington Nationals, who are losing 6-1 tonight, by the way, to the Mets. Mets turned to triple play yesterday and still lost.
Well, what did that kid do that helped turn to AAA?
He also hit an inside the park home run. Runner goes. Good jump, too. Line shot under the glove of Michael Young. There's Torres who's at it again. It'll be runners at the corners here.
Well, someone must have woke up as Torres. He's been hitting 220 the whole year, not doing much of anything. Had 6 RBIs going into the game last night. He drove in all 3 runs, or all 3 of the runs for the Orioles last night. Now he's got a hit already in this game.
Infield will stay at double play depth. And Corey Patterson to the plate. Patterson started the year in AAA. Young in even with the bag at third. Runner going from first. Trainer's going to zing it. And he's off the mark.
What a huge jump right there. Very little chance of throwing him out on that one. Scott very deliberate from the stretch that time to the plate, and that just gave the runner a couple of extra steps and didn't give Matt much of a chance to get him.
5 Baltimore base runners already, once through the order. A smash and it's fair. Patterson's going to cut this down to 4-2. Ends up with a 1-out double. 3 straight hits after Jones struck out. And that's too bad. The Rangers building that big lead in the bottom of the first, and now they give half of it back right away.
That was a pitch, looked like a changeup maybe. Patterson was out in front of it, hit it sharply right down the first base line.
Second, I'm sorry, Tex.
Stop the bleeding right here. Keep it at 2 runs for the Orioles.
Second straight night, the Orioles get a 2 RBI hit in the top of the second inning. A strike to Wigginton. It's been an uphill battle for Baltimore on the road going back to last year. These guys have won 6 of their last 31 road games. Another ball is hit pretty hard. Hamilton's up with it. And Josh firing home. It's going to be too late. And with that, Wigginton advances to second. It is 4-3.
Well, Josh has a great arm, but in that particular case, you've got a guy that can really run at second base. And not much chance to throw him out at the plate. In that situation, probably better to throw it into second and keep the runner at first base to keep the double play in order. That's a strong throw, but you can see how late it is, and that's because Patterson can fly. And now you've got a guy at second again with no chance for double play. But the way Josh has been throwing, I don't blame him for trying. He's been cutting runners down or keeping them from taking the extra base with some strong throws.
Now it's 40 pitches into Scott Feldman's night, and he's only got 4 outs. This reminds you quite a bit of the game Rich Harden pitched in Toronto, where the Rangers got the big lead in the first inning. And it's not so much with the walks here, it's more with the hits, but you got a Rangers starter giving the lead right back. Markakis to Arias, who continues to field his position just fine. Tying man now at third with 2 away. That's the second straight time, Tom, that an Orioles hitter has swung away at the very first pitch right after the visit from Mike Maddox. Last inning with the bases loaded, Matt Wieters hit it sharply right to Arias. Now the cleanup man, Mr. Tejada. And he's swinging right away. Josh Hamilton started in, now moving back, and he's got it. The Rangers keep the lead. It's 4-3. Than ever to find the seats you want or sell tickets to the game you can't make at StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Rangers. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today. Elvis Andrus got things started in the first inning with a walk. Elvis having hit safely in 17 out of 19 and batting .321, one of the top totals in the league. He's bunting here. Fair ball, says C.B. Buckner. And Elvis is out.
Well, good idea. Just didn't get the bunt down. Just made it too easy for Wieters. Trying to push this bunt towards second base, but just never got it there.
Michael Young 8 for his last 12 at bats. Now has 1,714 hits as a Ranger. 33 away from the all-time franchise lead in that. That means we're getting pretty close here, Tom, to putting a little friendly wager together with everybody in the broadcast crew, and you know, probably asked fans at some point too. Pick a date, pick an inning. When do you think it's going to happen? And Michael Young will pass Pudge Rodriguez with that franchise record hit. Do some quick math here. 33 to go. He's been averaging about a hit and a half a game of late. So about another 3 weeks thereabouts would be the forecast anyway.
Yes.
If there's a flair for the dramatic, obviously you'd want him to do it at home. And the Rangers have a homestand with the Pirates and the Astros right after the first day of summer. That could be around the time.
I think it's going to happen. Unfortunately, I think it's going to happen on the road.
If Michael stays hot. Ooh, and he's called out here by Doug Eddings at first base. Yeah, the Rangers have a long road trip right before that homestand we're talking about, the one that starts June 22.
Boy, that's a tough call right there. I didn't think he went, but I can understand why the umpire would call it.
That's a professional, stoic look right there from Michael. I'm sure he would have preferred to keep batting.
Yeah, and I don't think he felt like he swung, but you pick your battles out there, I think. Wasn't going to change the umpire's mind.
In between innings, you look at your schedule, I'll look at my schedule. Let's see if we can figure out when we think that Michael Young will get this done, and then we'll track it.
How many does he need? 33?
33 to tie, 34 to go ahead. So the number we're looking for is actually 34.
All right.
34 more hits.
All right.
I think I've got mine in mind here. If we can somehow, okay, well, we'll check it out. We're not hating. We'll see. Might have.
Yeah, I think he went on that one.
We got to run it by the Rangers, run it by Fox Sports Southwest, see if we can get a sponsor, but maybe there'll be a guess the exact time for Michael Young kind of thing we can put together. Up near third, that is foul, barely. Where it passes the bag.
You get lucky on that. You hit the side of the bag. It caroms into foul territory. You end up with a double.
By the way, whatever we put together, a little pool on when Michael will get this done, it's all like gentleman's bet stuff. There's no wagering allowed in baseball. That is definitely a base hit for Ian Kinsler.
Line drives are allowed, though.
And Ian's hitting around 330 now. 2 for 2 tonight. Brings up Vlad Guerrero.
He hit that ball hard in the left field. Well, I'm calculating my guess on Michael Young for you. I'm also going to make the call on Vlad right here.
Wow, you're like full service.
I'm going to try and do it all. See if I can't be a 5-tool prognosticator here.
That one's down to Vlad Guerrero, who now has 415 career home runs. 42nd on the all-time list. Next to pass would be Hall of Famer Billy Williams. That segues us into talking about the Cubs, who are coming to town starting tomorrow. In fact, they're on their way right now. They played this afternoon in Philly. The more industrious members of their traveling party could come on here, see a few innings tonight. You might be right, Mr. Cruz. Vladimir Guerrero will hammer one out of here. 2-run home run.
Wow, it's a good home stand for both of us. We both got on the board.
Career home run number 416 for Vladimir Guerrero. And congratulations, Tom Grieve. He had the call. Fireworks in the air for a second time tonight. Both times with 2 out. Nelly Cruz last inning. And now Big Bad Vlad.
That's a nice 2-out rally. Line shot to left and a long, towering home run.
Just an inning after Nelly Cruz ties Vlad Guerrero for the team lead in home runs. Guerrero says, nope, Vlad, sorry, it's all me.
He knew that one was gone. So did everybody else.
Mattis, coming into this game, Tom, had allowed 2 home runs in about 800 pitches. He's now allowed 2 in his last 20 pitches. And faces the possibility of seeing another one go out because of who's at the plate right now. Nope, not going to happen. But the Rangers add to their lead. A 6-3 score at the end of 2 tonight at the ballpark in Arlington. By Geico Insurance. 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance, and by AT&T. See what's new at AT&T. Go to att.com for details. Well, a lot of action tonight already. 9 runs in 2 innings.
Well, Scott needs a 1-2-3 inning with about 11 pitches right here to get right back on track. Shut the door. Rangers got 2 of the 3 runs back, 3-run lead. come out, throw that sinker, get a couple of ground balls. Let's go back and let the Rangers hit again.
About an hour to play 2 innings tonight, and it's worth it for Ranger fans because their team is doubling up Baltimore. But yeah, you're right. You don't want to see this one drag along. You don't want to see Scott Feldman labor through it tonight. His team is hitting plenty. But Feldman really having a tough time right now. It's 3-0 to Luke Scott, who has not seen a strike yet. He walked on 4 pitches in the first. Scott, Wieters, and Jones in the top of the 3rd for Baltimore. Or as it's called back there, Ballmer. On 3-1, base hit Luke Scott. 18 hits in his last 10 ball games. He's obviously in a nice little groove right now. What frightens you a little bit, because it is past the 1/4 mark of the season now, large enough sample size, I guess. Opponents are now hitting very close to 300 this year against Scott Feldman. He does pitch to contact, obviously, and there are going to be balls put in play. But 300 is a high batting average.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's noticeable, he's kind of lost the feel for his 2-seam sinker cutter combination that can be so effective. The ball that goes into a lefty, the cutter, and then into the righty, the 2-seam fastball. Just hasn't had the sharp break late action on those pitches that we saw so much from him last year.
Wieters did offer at that, and Feldman at 0-2 with Jones waiting on deck.
It's just a matter of figuring it out, battling through it, finding the delivery, the grip, the release point, all those things that pitchers have to do to be consistent.
All right, so by the way, we were talking about Michael Young and when he might get that record-setting hit. Most in franchise history is now 34 away.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to put in your official guesstimate here.
I'm going with June 19th. That's Saturday night in Houston.
June 19th.
Saturday night in Houston.
In Houston. How about an inning?
I'm going right off the bat. First inning.
And
I'll say line drive to right, since that's the most common hit.
All right, I've just written all that down. June 19th. In Houston.
I wanted to wait till we got home, but I think that's stretching it too far. I think he's in a good streak right now. I might have stretched it too long myself. The way Michael's swinging now, it might happen a lot sooner than that.
Well, and you know, just again in terms of
just trying to pick an average amount, you know.
No, I mean, I think you're right there. If it goes until June 22nd, that's when the homestand starts.
Yeah.
That is also the birthday of Michael's firstborn, Mateo.
Well, that'd be nice.
Would that be a heck of a 5th birthday present for Mateo?
It would, but I think if you told Michael that's when it was going to be, you'd go, boy, I'd like to think I was going to be hotter than that, you know?
Well, and for that reason, here's what I'm looking at. It would be great if it was in the state of Texas, if not right here, but I'm thinking June 16th in Florida.
Going to 16th?
Yeah, I'm writing down 6/16 for me.
Well, I'm a little worried right off the bat. I might have waited too long, but I'm kind of looking at it this way. If Michael plays 160 games and gets 200 hits,
right,
that's 40 more hits than games played. So if we played a quarter of a season, then that'd be maybe 10 more hits than games played. And so ours is a little less than that, so I'm going like 6 or 7 more hits than games played, somewhere right around in there.
You were so obviously a math major at Michigan.
That kind of. Well, my nickname on the golf course is the Rain Man, so I'm kind of going with that. Kurt Diker gave me that name.
I thought that's because you watch Wapner every day at 4:30.
No, but if I was channel surfing and saw him, I'd watch him.
Wieters down on strikes, and Scott Feldman again just trying to kind of reestablish here. That might be a pretty important at bat for him as he gets Wieters to wave up over top.
Well, let's see what he gets him with. Like a curveball. And he kept it down where there's nothing Wieters could do with that pitch. It took 8 pitches to get him, but he finally got him to swing and a pitch out of the strike zone.
Between innings, we're going to poll our production staff too. Everybody can
they
be
should
in on
all
this
be
one.
thinking about it right now.
Yeah. Instead of like cutting around and showing you various camera angles, they should be sitting down with the schedule right now.
A good fastball by Scott there. Looked like that did have some cutting action to it, going away from Adam Jones. Probably nothing's being done in the truck right now. No graphics, no replays. They've all got the schedule out.
And a slide rule. Yep.
Kelly's not going to play, though. There's no money involved.
Well, that's what fantasy football season is for.
Right. Not going to waste his picks on something like this.
I know there's no wagering, but can I put up like I'll buy a Chipotle burrito for somebody or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Chopper foul.
A weird looking chopper.
You like that baton action that Adam Jones can do with the bat after he steps out?
I'd like to have Adam Jones' physical skills on the baseball field. I know that. Nice job right there blocking that ball. That was way in the other batter's box. Keeps the double play in order. Matt takes a lot of pride in his defensive ability, and watch him block this ball. When the ball is curving like that's a curveball, it tends to hit the ground and then bounce back the other way because of the spin. Catchers learn that.
Taken by Adam Jones. I'm talking about his athleticism. There's an Adam Jones in football.
Yeah.
Also pretty athletic, but tends to get in some trouble.
He sounds like he's, at least if you take him at his word, that he's kind of figuring life out a little bit. I didn't realize he was only 26 years old.
That's Pac-Man Jones we're talking about. Adam Jones, the baseball player, down on strikes.
That's good to see, because that's another breaking ball. He struck Wieters out with one and comes back the next at bat and gets Adam Jones with one. Good curveball, down and away, a little bit out of the strike zone, but it didn't look that way to Jones when he first started to think about swinging.
Lou Montañez will take inside.
A little better sinking action to that pitch, too.
Baltimore's got 7 hits already. With the Rangers leading 6-3 here in the third. That ball foul. Nice catch, huh? High fives all around.
Probably on a softball team somewhere. Brought his glove to the game.
It does look like a softball uniform. You're right. Nice. Got the Chattanooga Lookouts hat going over there.
Looks like a young Bob Feller. All sorts of lookalikes tonight. Got William Shatner and Bob Feller in the stands.
That ball chopped foul by Montañez. Who was your lookalike? Did people get on you for anyone in particular?
There used to be a cartoon. One of those funny cartoons where the body hardly moves but the lips move. Remember those from about 30, 40 years ago?
Were you Clutch Cargo?
Clutch Cargo. That's it.
I can see that. That ball rammed into left center field. Base hit for Montañez. We talked about him as kind of an odd-looking choice for a DH, coming in with a batting average of 114, but he's 2 for 2. And Cesar is Torres, who's looked like an all-star in this series, and coming up now with 2 on. And again, Mike Maddox, boy, has 3 innings in a row now that Mad Dog's had to go out there. He looks like Frank Zappa, by the way. Just saying. And
Look at that.
I'm sorry, it's uncanny.
And see, William Shatner's got makeup on. Dave hadn't had time to like pretty up for the photo,
Right.
but boy, that is a pretty good resemblance right there. That is definitely Denny Crane. That has to go. You know, we don't want to talk too much TV, but that's one of my all-time favorites right there. Boston Legal.
You like your Boston Legal?
Oh man.
Now, this conversation being allowed to continue a little longer than normal.
The umpires are conferring about something.
What are we looking at here? The pitching rubber?
I don't know.
Mike Maddox still staring down at something on the mound.
It's a long conversation, so it must have something needed clarifying. No one's mad. It's not an argument. Some type of an explanation. Don't know if we'll find out until tomorrow about that one.
Runners at the corners for Cesar Izturis.
Well, Cesar Izturis, over a 2-game stretch, has been the toughest out for the Rangers. Only hitting .234, but you'd never know it by these 2 games. Well, Scott's up to 65 pitches.
Yeah.
Not out of the 3rd inning yet. Got a great chance of seeing Guillermo Moscoso tonight. Moscoso was warming up late in the game yesterday.
Off speed for a strike this time.
If that game had gone into extra innings, Moscoso would have been the pitcher. And he's earned the right. He pitched well in AAA this year. Has to see the Rangers get some benefit from that Gerald Laird trade with Moscoso. Hopefully he can come up and really help the ball club.
Laird's become, from all accounts, a very appreciated player in Detroit. He's not hitting much, but boy, they love his defense.
Well, they've got some young kids that can hit, some veteran guys that can hit. They need someone to catch. That's what he's there for.
Slowly towards second base. It's Kinsler to Arias. 6-3. Texas still our score. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. extraordinary performance. Nelson Cruz in the first inning with a couple on and a couple out. The Rangers led 4-0 at that point. It's now 6-3 in the bottom of the third. A high-scoring start tonight. Scott Feldman almost gave some of it back in that top of the third, but he did pitch out of it. Rangers try to keep the good times rolling against Brian Mattis right here.
And the reason Scott was able to pitch out of the third was his curveball. Got a couple of strikeouts with it. Used it very effectively in that inning. Wasn't watching the monitor, but I think there was also the pitch that his Turris just grounded out on. Might have gotten all 3 outs with it. Not positive on that last one, though.
The battle of the numbers 17 here. Nelson Cruz against Brian Mattis. Nelly Cruz would have loved to have worn number 18. Moises Alou, his favorite player growing up. And that's the number that Moises used to wear. But Don Wakamatsu had that number when he was here as a Rangers coach. So Nelly downgraded one to 17 and doesn't want to cause trouble now. He's going to just stick with it. To right field this time. He was already homered to left. And this time, extra bases into that right field corner. A double to lead things off in the third.
Well, he just reached out, protecting himself with 2 strikes. Feeling pretty good about that. Pitch is a little bit outside, it looks like. Number 5, the cutter, trying to come back and catch the corner. Nelly just reaches out and kind of flicks it down the line. Nothing Markakis could do. Too far to run.
Joaquin Arias now bunting. Mattis looking at third, realizes his only play is to first and gets it there. Not sure why Nelly Cruz was sliding at third unless he just slipped, but he just picks himself up. He's all right.
Good job right there by Joaquin. Got a man at third base for David. They're going to have to play the infield in. Good spot to be hitting in right here.
Infield's going to come in as David Murphy steps to the plate. Murphy was asked to pinch hit yesterday. And he struck out. The Rangers pinch hitters this year struggled. They're 3 for 20.
Well, the Rangers had a nice win yesterday, but one area they did not excel in was this situation right here. Man on third base and less than 2 outs.
And the Rangers were 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position yesterday.
Both pitchers again with a lot of pitches. Mattis now with 60. Scott was in the mid-60s. It's only the third inning.
Again, the infield in for Baltimore. Murphy sends it into the crowd. Cubs come to town tomorrow, 7:05 game. Post-game fireworks set to today's hit music. 972 Rangers, the number to call to get your tickets. Or go online at TexasRangers.com. Murphy into center field, almost took the cap off of Mattis.
Ahead of him in the count, 1-2. David fouled off a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate and then ripped the pitch and looked like it was right down the middle of the plate. Right back through the middle. Wow. Boy, Mattis didn't flinch at all. He tried to catch that ball.
Murphy's 2 for 2 and now 4 for 5 lifetime against Mattis as Jason Birkin goes to work in the bullpen.
He was right back to a 4-run lead.
And Dave Tremblay marching on out there. It's not like Birkin's been up for that long. Wow, that was expedient. 7-3. The Rangers have leading 7-3. They won 4-3 yesterday and got that 4th run off of this guy, Jason Birkin, the Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. Birkin was out there to face Nelson Cruz, who lofted the game-winning sac fly. 1 on, 1 out for Birkin here, the former Clemson Tiger. Good work out of the bullpen. He was a starter for the Orioles last year. Had an ERA in the 6s. And in the bullpen this year, he's 1.4.
Yeah, good numbers. He's only given up 1 home run. Solid opponent's batting average. Not many walks. Good night for the Ranger hitters against a really good young left-hander who struggled tonight with his command.
Yeah, Mattis will be one of the good ones. But tonight was just not his night. 7 runs and 2 1/3. On the hook for a runner at first right now. Trainer with a bouncing ball to third. Tejada awkwardly gets rid of it, and they only get the 1 out.
Battling that hop all the way.
Remember, Tejada had to try to wrangle the one hit by Vladimir Guerrero yesterday. Well, that got on him in a hurry. Boy, no such thing as a sophomore slump for Elvis Andrus, huh? He's only gotten better. Pitches outside to Elvis as he checks the forward leaderboard. Over the last 4, almost 5 weeks now, best on-base percentage in the AL. Elvis is right up there, having gone from number 9 in the order to number 1. Some guys have that rookie of the year kind of year and then just disappear. Happened to Joe Charbonneau of the Indians, Jerome Walton of the Cubs. Remember Bob Hamlin from the Royals?
Sure.
Had that great rookie. The Hammer had the great rookie year and then never really got it going again.
Saw the Hammer one time hit what might be a double. Went racing around first. His helmet fell off, and he stopped to pick up his helmet.
He was a classy guy.
He was. That was great.
Another take from Elvis to grow the count to 3-1. There was a year, I guess it was 1976 it would have been, where all the really good rookies that year, it seemed, Mark Fidrich, Pat Zachary, Butch Metzger. After that, it just all of a sudden got real hard for everybody that was good the one year. Elvis grounds out here, but again, no complaints about his sophomore season. The Rangers leading 7-3 after 3. Game on Fox Saturday. Cubs and Rangers at 6 o'clock, and catch This Week in Baseball at a special time as well. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. A 7-3 lead right now for the Rangers as we go to the 4th inning.
Each team has 8 hits in the ball game. Big difference is the Rangers have a couple of bombs. 3-run homer and a 2-run homer.
Hit by Nelson Cruz and Vlad Guerrero. Cruz also has a double tonight. David Murphy's gone 2 for 2. But what a pretty night at this beautiful ballpark. The Rangers have really settled in here at home. They've won 9 out of 10. 16-7 overall now here. It's their second best home record through 23 games ever. Only the 1996 playoff team was any better. Down and into Patterson. Full windup from Scott Feldman. And gets a ground ball. He flags it down, recovers, and throws out Corey Patterson as we go to Jim Knotts.
All right, thank you, Josh. Hey, we're with Winster High School senior class out of Oklahoma at the Ranger game tonight. Having a good time, huh? Yeah! There we go. They're about 20 strong. 10 went to the concession stand. Why here at the baseball game?
We finally graduated. We wanted to come watch a Rangers game, and we're here. We're finally getting to do it.
All right, there we go. Pretty exciting. They even have the principal over here, Principal Cole, and you're doing well, right?
You bet.
All right, what do you think, guys? Who does he look like? Maybe Barney Fife? Huh?
Wow.
Maybe? A little bit? No, that's just a little bit. Okay, looking good, guys. All right, thanks, Josh.
Ace reporter trampled by Barney Fife lookalike after game. We can see the headlines now. Thank you very much, Jim. Even Clutch Cargo over here was laughing at that. Ty Wigginton will take a strike. Wigginton has hit safely in 10 of 11. We used to hear about Barney Fife all the time from, of all people, Buck Showalter. Buck was the biggest Andy Griffith fan ever.
He liked that a lot.
Feldman is going to try to get 2 assists in 2 batters, and he does.
Really, though, when you come right down to it, how could anybody not like Barney Fife?
Yeah, he really does represent all that's right, you know. Telling Otis to pipe down and taking that one bullet out and showing it to people. Nipping it in the bud. Nick Markakis,
that's what's
towering pop-up. Yeah, nice little 1-2-3 inning. Nothing leaving the infield.
That's the way to do it.
Keeping it 7-3 at the ballpark tonight. The 4th, the Rangers up 7-3, and our AT&T trivia question for tonight. Since 1963, 2 American League pitchers have started consecutive All-Star games. Can you name them? Answer coming up soon. Young, Kinsler, and Guerrero here in the 4th inning against Jason Birkin. Ryan Mattis went 2 1/3 tonight. Rangers got him for 8 hits and 7 runs. Michael, who is hitting .380 in this month of May. That includes the hustling double last night in the 9th inning to set up the game winner. Going to check some scores in just a moment, but Tag, first things first, just this story about Hanley Ramirez coming out of Miami. Of course, a couple days ago, he got pulled from the game, didn't like it, and now, I guess upon further review, after he got talked to by both Tony Perez and Andre Dawson, who kind of made him see the light, if you will. Now, apparently, Hanley Ramirez is sorry and is working his way back into good graces after, well, dogging it a little bit and then saying some unkind things about his manager.
Well, you know, I think his pride got in the way, and finally, I mean, I don't know how you could talk to Andre Dawson and Tony Perez and not come away thinking that you got some great advice. He had some time to sleep on it. He did the right thing. He evidently went around in a clubhouse meeting to every guy in the team individually during that meeting and apologized, and then came out last night and got 3 hits. So I think he corrected a mistake, and hopefully a great young player will flourish and look back on that as just a bad night.
And the Rangers will see the Marlins and Hanley Ramirez next month down there in Miami. The Marlins always seem to do a lot with that low payroll. They're now 22-20. They lost today in St. Louis 4-2. Adam Wainwright goes to 6-2. Phillies beat the Cubs 5-4. Now the Cubs are on their way here. Kosuke Fukudome had home run number 6. That's a high total for him this early in the season. Young, long at bat, pays off, base hit to left. On his way to second base, he's got himself a leadoff double.
He had 5 good swings in that at bat. He fouled some of them off, and he got an off-speed pitch right there. He waited on it just right. Hit it sharply down the left field line for a double. When Michael gets in one of these streaks, there aren't many guys in the league who can pound out hits more rapidly than he can. 2 more tonight.
Closer and closer is Michael Young now to that all-time franchise lead in base hits. Our producer, Dr. Bob Steinfeld, who's
going with the 13th.
Yep, he's rung in with June 13 is his prediction. I said the 16th. Tag said the 19th. June 13 would be in Milwaukee.
If Michael gets like 5 hits tonight, we might have to redo it.
Boy, no kidding. Well, you know, a homestand ends on June 10th. If he really hustles.
It gets hot. Hotter. Stays hot. Can't get any hotter.
Inside to Kinsler. Yeah, Michael is now 9 for his last 13. Director Dave Burchett says June 12th, 5th inning in Milwaukee. He also predicts that Italian Sausage will win the race in the 6th inning there. Kinsler grounds out. Nothing yet from Eric Josephson. He's still deliberating. And as you said, Kelly Donaldson will only participate if there's actual money.
Hope to be a cash prize.
Oh, Kelly's just checked in now. June 18th. His precinct is reported.
He was talked into it by the burrito you offered to the winner.
Well, hey, when there's the possibility of burrito. All right, June 18th in Houston for Kelly. Got it. I'm saying first inning on mine, too, by the way.
Okay.
He's guaranteed to hit in that inning. So. But I'm going home run.
Ooh, nice.
Right center.
Who are they playing in your game?
Houston. So
Houston?
It's a bullpen shot in Houston. Caught by bullpen catcher Josh Frazier. On one bounce. Kelly Donaldson says 6th inning single to right. And now the precincts are reporting fast and furious. We go to Wolf Blitzer in the State House. Is there such a thing as a State House? I think I bollocks that one up. Check swing. Guerrero takes high. A 2-run homer for Vlad in the 2nd inning. He's also flied to right. We won't show you the fly ball to right. We'll show you the home run. Fouled it off the catcher, Wieters. Some other National League scores, by the way. The Braves with that 7-run ninth. That trumps an 8-run second for Cincinnati. 10-9 the final score. Atlanta over Cincy. The walk-off grand slam for Brooks Conrad off Coco Cordero. Padres at the Dodgers tonight, and San Diego hanging on to first place. The Dodgers could have tied him with a win yesterday, but that didn't happen. Giants and Diamondbacks are scoreless in the first tonight. The Rockies lead the Astros 3-0 in the sixth on a Troy Tulowitzki home run. Vladimir pops one towards second. Young's got to hang out at second base. Mets all over Washington 10-3 in the seventh inning, and former Ranger Rod Barajas, another home run. He's got 10. A lot of former Rangers on that Mets team all of a sudden. Gary Matthews Jr. and Frank Catalanato off the bench.
I was hoping Gary would go over there, get a chance to play every day, and kind of resurrect his career after getting that huge contract in California, $50 million for 5 years. Just hasn't gone the same for Gary there and with the Mets as it did right before that with the Rangers.
Rangers out hitting the Orioles 9-8. Out hitting them 10-8, and this is going to get Michael Young racing to the plate. The throw way offline. Down to second base goes Hamilton. The Rangers have scored in every inning, and they're leading 8-3.
Nice 2-out hit by Josh. Keep the runs coming. Took advantage of an errant throw by Corey Patterson in left field. Tried to see if he could throw out Michael Young when probably didn't have a great chance. And the throw is high, way over the cutoff man's head, over the catcher's head for that matter. And Josh can just trot down to second base where he goes right into scoring position.
RBI number 25 for Josh Hamilton. Nelson Cruz comes up already with a homer and a double tonight. And plenty of baseball left. This could be a cycle evening, possibly for Nelson Cruz. Needs the single and the triple. Couple of strikes to Cruz. Cubs coming to town starting tomorrow. And a quick reminder about the game on Sunday. That is a 1:05 game on Sunday. First 8,500 fans 13 and under receive a Rangers pillowcase. Buy in advance. Get your tickets 972 Rangers or online at TexasRangers.com. The Cubs tomorrow night for a 7:05 game. Fireworks after. It's a 6:05 game Saturday. The second trip for the Cubs to Arlington. They were also here in 2007. The Rangers have only been to Wrigley once. That was way back in 2002.
And it was hot.
So was Kevin Mench. Remember, he kept on hitting baseballs out on the Waveland. Nelson Cruz grounding it slowly to short. Close play, safe. He's got the single.
He sure did. There's a hustling single. Any player's going to hustle when they think they've got a chance for a hit, but he also not only hustled, he showed his speed for a big guy. How quickly he got down the line. You don't expect a guy as big as Nelly, big power hitting outfielder, to be able to run like that. He helps the umpire out with a call, too. Watch him as he goes right through the bag. Safe.
Just helping you out there, Mr. Eddings. Now Joaquin Arias. That one down in the dirt. Eight 8-3 here. The Rays lead the Yankees 8-4. The Yankees had been nearly invincible at home. Tampa Bay trying to go in there and win 2 straight.
I remember when Tampa Bay went to the playoffs a couple of years ago. They went into Boston a couple of times right when everyone said, well, let's see what they can do against the Red Sox, and they beat them too.
Markakis over near the line will make the catch, inning over. But the Rangers with 4 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. They lead 8-3. The 2 American League pitchers to have started consecutive All-Star games. Well, Dave Steve did it. So did that guy, Jim Palmer. The greatest pitcher the Orioles have had in a franchise that's had a lot of really, really good pitching. Remember, 1971, they had the 4 20-game winners. And Palmer was 20-9 that year. So was Mike Cuellar. Pat Dobson was 20-8. Dave McNally was 21-5. Miguel Tejada will take a strike. The Rangers are on pace for a 20-game winner this year, and believe it or not, that's Frankie Francisco, who is now 5-3. We're going to be chatting this inning with Steve Busby, who many say would have been a multi-time 20-game winner had he stayed healthy. This ball tracked. Josh Hamilton can't get it, diving after it. And trying for second base and making it is Miguel Tejada as the ball got away from Josh. Miguel Tejada is in there leading off with a double, and indeed Steve Busby will join us. We can talk a little Scott Feldman. And well, until right there anyway, Buzz, it was 4 in a row retired by Feldman. That might not sound like a huge number, but the way things have been going this year, it looked like he was getting on a nice little roll.
Yeah, 4 in a row and a couple of groundouts, three of the 4 on groundouts, and that's what's important, I think, Josh. I know you guys have talked about it, but well, when Scott Feldman starts getting ground balls, you can pretty well say that's the Scott Feldman we need, because that's when you know that he's getting the good movement, he has good location, changing speeds enough to keep guys a little bit off balance.
Hottest Orioles hitter, Luke Scott, stays hot by rifling one inside the line. Back-to-back doubles for Baltimore, starting things up in the 5th. And with the pitch count for Feldman rolling into the 80s now, and this lead down to 8-4, I'm sure Ron Washington's thinking anyway about maybe ringing that bullpen, getting them going.
Well, he's thinking about it, and he's probably thinking, I'd sure like to see Scott get it together and get through 6 innings for me, so maybe even longer than that. He can be a little efficient with his pitches so he doesn't have to go to the bullpen.
Matt Wieters takes a strike. Matt Wieters has been talked about a lot all around baseball, I guess, Buzz. It's not easy for a kid, even though he's had some success already. And, I mean, I'm sure he identifies it. Yes, he's a very good prospect, but, boy, it's a lot of pressure to put on a kid to be the guy that turns an entire organization around.
Well, there's only so much he can do, and I'm sure people have told him that, too. That hasn't made the media necessarily, but... Matt's a great talent, and he's playing the most complicated position on the field. No offense to all the outfielders.
No, they would agree with you.
That ball scorched into center. Hamilton comes up with it, and they're not going to challenge his arm. The runners at the corners now, and I would think they got to get the bullpen going now.
That's 3 straight ropes, too.
Yeah.
That time Wieters hit a curveball.
It's an 11 hitter for Scott Feldman right now.
Looked like caught the middle of the plate. Down a little bit, but nice job of hitting right there by Wieters.
Seen a lot of Mike Maddox out here tonight.
Yeah, it's been difficult, I think, Josh, for Scott Feldman to really find himself. And he hasn't thrown the ball that badly, just from the standpoint of throwing it. I think he's letting guys become too comfortable at the plate. I don't know, Tom, did you ever go to the plate and just feel like you were, nothing is going to bother you. You may not get a hit, but you didn't worry about too much.
Sure.
You know approximately the speed and the pitch selection that you were going to face, and just kind of go up there and go have at it.
Yeah, and the one thing, Buzz, that we haven't seen him do as much of as when he was pitching well last year is throw that 2-seam fastball into the right-hand hitters and see the bats cracking like we did last year. He just doesn't seem like he's, I don't know whether is it location or movement or.
Yeah, and I think the easiest thing for a pitcher to do, I think, is fall in love with the outside corner to everybody, right-handed or left-handed. And it looks like Scott's going to do that. Most of the time when you make good pitches away, you're not going to get hurt too badly, and it's easier for you to get into a rhythm of throwing the ball out there. But as soon as you set a pattern like that, I think hitters really adjust. I mean, they're not stupid. They see what you're doing, and they're just going to go the other way. Then you make a mistake in the middle of the plate, and look out. They're right on everything.
Jones has struck out twice tonight, but Feldman's 2-0 on him here. Dials it down. Fastball count. That was not a fastball.
Nope. That's one of the things that Scott has done pretty well tonight when he's gotten behind in it.
Yeah, I think that's the one pitch that's bailed him out a little bit today has been his curveball.
Now trying to establish
like Buzz when he goes in, he's missing it.
Yeah.
He's not catching the corner.
Yeah. Well, I think when you do that, you've already established a way, Tom, and hitters start looking out there, and they don't take the ball that's either on the corner inside or off the plate inside.
That seemed to have a little bit more movement to it.
Yep.
He was back to 3-2. I'll get a ground ball right here. You'd take that run scoring from third, right, to turn 2 and just calm things down. Jones not an easy guy to double up. He runs very well. Chip towards right. Nelson Cruz will fire. Oh, he's just showing off.
A wise move not going in.
Big night for Nelson Cruz, a triple away from the cycle after the game-winning sac fly last night. And now reminding everybody he's got a cannon.
Well, when you're down by 4, middle of the game, you just don't want to take a chance. It's probably a smart thing they didn't.
Think Trader's going to get on Nelly for short hopping him?
Yeah, that's not an easy ball to handle.
280
right
feet, he throws a rope at him and short hops him.
The unlikely DH, Lou Montañez. 114 hitter coming in, but he's 2 for 2 tonight. 2 singles to center. And again, Feldman's in a position now where A ground ball. This might get him right out of the inning. He's got his 5 innings, would qualify for the win.
Well, if he can do that and keep this a 1-run inning, that would have been a superb job after 3 line drives, 2 doubles and a single.
Getting away from Trainer. Nobody's able to advance.
Looked like Matt might have gotten crossed up on that pitch.
Yeah, generally you don't see Matt catch a ball in the dirt like that.
Runners at the corners, 1 out. Towards second base. Kinsler's got it. No other play. And now 1 more out for Feldman, and he'll have qualified for that victory. He's got to get Cesar Torres, who's been a real tough out in this series.
Say that for a guy who came in, what was he, 4 for the last 900 or something like that before yesterday.
4 for 41, and
4
now,
for 41.
Yeah, and now he's 4 for 6 in this series. So
he got going pretty well last night and tonight.
As Torres known for his glove more than his bat for a long time. Former Blue Jay sent to the Dodgers initially. The same year the Blue Jays sent Michael Young to Texas. As Torres and Young were teammates a couple of years coming up in that Toronto organization. It's reportedly one of the guys that the Rangers had a choice to grab in that Esteban Loaiza deal of now almost 10 years ago. Brett Abernathy, is Torres or Michael Young? And at the time, who knew? You know, I mean, well, apparently the Rangers did.
Yeah, I would think going back to that point in time, if 29 teams had a chance to choose among those 3 guys at that point in time, there might have been a lot of different choices.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been split 3 ways almost.
Because the other 2 guys were pretty good prospects, too.
Quick reminder, Steve Busby is on the set of Rangers Live after the game. Visiting with us here in the booth in the top of the 5th. Kind of a slow-moving game tonight, Buzz. And I don't know if you've noticed with Feldman the last few starts with runners on. Really, really deliberate.
Yeah, and you know, as I think for most of the Ranger pitchers of late, a lot of foul balls. And
why is that? I've noticed that too.
Just not quite getting guys off balance enough. Guys are fouling off both good pitches and bad pitches, and then rifling them out. I think you got to change location a little bit more effectively.
That'll work. Feldman strikes out his Torres, and it's still 8-4. Thank you, Buzz.
Appreciate it.
A lot of hitting tonight. We're only halfway through, and there's 22 hits in this game. Rangers lead 8-4. They've been hitting the long ball tonight. Not so much for Baltimore.
That was a nice job by Scott. 3 line drives, first and third, a run in, nobody out. And he pitched his way out of it.
Murphy, a towering pop-up. His tour is calling off Tejada. So it's 2 hits still for Murphy. There's 3 tonight for Nelson Cruz. Our BBVA Compass video summary. The first hit for Nelly, a home run. Then a double to right in the third. Infield a hit for the single in the fourth. Triple away now from the cycle.
And watching that, one thing you don't have to worry about is Nelly's hamstring.
Yeah.
He was busting it all the way as hard as he could right there.
Nelson had only 1 triple in 2009. That seems,
that's unusual.
Yeah, like a low total for a guy that hits for power and hustles and has speed.
Yep.
Strike to Matt Trainer. Anyway, if Nelson Cruz can somehow get a triple, and he'll probably have 2 more at bats tonight. He'd be the 5th Ranger to hit for the cycle. Trainer down to Tejada. It's off his glove, and Matt Trainer's going to reach.
Rangers have hit several balls like that to Miguel right down the line. Hard chances. He's playing deep, hard hit balls, tough hops.
And a base hit for Matt Trainer that'll get his batting average back up over 200. Top of the order now, Elvis Andrus walked and scored way back in the first. Trainer's going. And a hit and run base hit for Elvis. Trainer jams on the brakes.
Well, that's getting it right there. That the shortstop was covering.
Wow.
And that created the hole. I think what the Orioles are thinking, I'm going to have the shortstop cover, leave the second baseman there, because probably on the hit and run, Elvis is going to try to hit the ball to right field, but he crossed him up and pulled it right through the shortstop hole for a base hit.
Now Elvis hitting .325. And again, all the little things, just like that. You got to hit the ball to short if that's where you think the hole is going to be. 2 on, 1 out for Michael Young.
One thing Rangers have done, Josh, in this game, every time the Orioles have scored, the Rangers have come right back and scored. In fact, they scored every inning. Kept the runs coming in this game.
We've had some fun with Michael Young tonight, trying to guess along with when he's going to take over the all-time franchise lead in hits. We've had guesses from the truck and from the booth of anywhere between June 12th and 19th. High drive right field to the track and caught in front of the dump sign. Both runners moving up. Not often you can take a base on Nick Markakis, but that ball was hit deep enough.
Oh, hit about 340 feet. Decent throw by Markakis, but Elvis was tagged up, going all the way. Yeah, he can pick up a couple now with a base hit. Michael's had a couple of hits. Ian's had a couple of hits. Cruz has had 3. Murphy's had 2.
Right at him for a strike. Boy, 13 hits for the Rangers already against 14 outs.
Ian had to bite his tongue right there, and didn't want to say anything to the umpire, but he didn't like the call very much either.
Second time he's done that tonight.
There's why.
Finds himself behind 0-2. Again, the Rangers a 4-3 win yesterday. Their 9th win of the year in their final at bat. That's a lot. A team now 23-18. Slowly hit. Tejada finds it, gets rid of it, and the Rangers strand a couple. End of 5 now, 8-4. Army, there's strong, then there's Army Strong by Chevy, proud sponsor of Texas baseball, and by Whataburger, just like you like it. Getting ready for Marlon Byrd to come back tomorrow. See that young man right there? Flapping those arms. Marlon Byrd, Alfonso Soriano, Derek Lee, the Chicago Cubs in town tomorrow night. 7:05 first pitch and fireworks after the game.
A number of star players on the Cubs, but the best Cub this year has been Marlon Byrd.
Second in the National League in batting average.
He got like 15 doubles.
I think he's got 16
doubles.
And we will see the 20-year-old shortstop, Starlin Castro.
Looking forward to that, too.
Of course, Elvis Andrus has proven already that a 20-year-old shortstop can come up and do some big things. Colby Lewis against Ted Lilly tomorrow night, 7:05. Derek Holland gets the start Saturday against Randy Wells. Sunday, C.J. Wilson against the surprising Carlos Silva.
That trade's worked out great for the Cubs. They traded Carlos Silva, a contract that Seattle didn't want, for Milton Bradley, a contract that the Cubs didn't want. Milton has had his struggles in Seattle. The other guy's pitching good for the Cubs.
5-0, in fact. Feldman strikes out Patterson.
That's nice to see.
Yep, 2 straight strikeouts for Scott now as we go to Emily Jones.
Yes, guys, here with your friendly 6th inning reminder to check out FoxSportsSouthwest.com. There you will find a nice little feature on Colby Lewis and his so far triumphant return to the Texas Rangers. Also, the latest news from around the region. You can find it on FoxSportsSouthwest.com, guys.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Emily. Ty Wigginton takes a strike, and yeah, Scott Feldman now. Pretty much soon as Dustin Nippert got up in the bullpen, Scott Feldman has kind of found himself again.
Well, it doesn't look like much. It's maybe an inning 2/3, whatever. But if Scott can pitch out of the 6th inning now, instead of being gone in the middle of the 5th inning, that's 2 innings that the bullpen won't have to throw tonight. And it's also going to make Scott, if he can get this last out right here, feel a whole lot better about his outing if it's 6 up, 6 down to end the game.
Once again, we'll send it away, this time to Jim Knox.
All right, Josh. Hey, right behind me, the 6-time national champion Boswell High School cheerleading team. Been cheering all game long since when?
Since the first inning.
Really? How long will you keep this up?
At least till the end of this inning.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I'll get out of the way here. Keep it up, girls.
At least till the end of the inning. You hear that?
I like the two guys in the back joining in.
You think they're part of the team for real or not really?
I don't think so.
You got a baby in the deal too. Nick Markakis is known to have a long at bat or two, so we'll see exactly how long they can keep this going. That ball is fouled. And they're still going. You're digging the jump around, aren't you?
Guys.
Well, I'm telling you, Markakis can go deep, deep, deep into a count. So it's good that they're young and spry. Feldman's at close to 110 pitches. He was at 119 his last start in Toronto. That ball belted in the right.
Some kind of hit right there. That pitch is, I don't know, it didn't bounce, but it almost bounced. I don't know how he hit that ball.
That's 2 for 4 now. And Mike Maddox, all 6 innings now. No, that's not true. 5 out of 6 innings. Will come out and talk to Scott Feldman.
That's down in Vlad territory right there.
Yep, just kind of went down and pushed it into right field.
Scott's at 109 pitches.
And yeah, following that 119 in Toronto, that's a lot for Scott. But if you read your Sports Illustrated this week, great article on Nolan Ryan and the whole stick with it mentality. The Rangers pitchers, and Scott Feldman's kind of the poster child for all this. That you are expected to keep on keeping on. When the going gets tough, you find the extra gear and just kind of grind through it. Miguel Tejada, and Feldman allowed to keep on going here. You don't see this that often. That hit he allowed was actually the 12th of the night now for Baltimore. To have one guy give up a dozen hits and be in position to win. He powers that one by Tejada. Still throwing 90.
This is the pitch we were talking about with Buzz. To be able to get that two-seam fastball in on the hitter with good movement. And that might have been the best example of it all night for Scott. That ball came in toward Tejada and down.
Little pop-up. Feldman backtracking, and yes, sir, he'll take it.
Good finish for Scott right there.
8-4, our score. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Vargas and Haltom City are contested. If a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. Register at just about any North Texas Sonic restaurant. You got some home run candidates here. Vlad Guerrero, Josh Hamilton, and Nelson Cruz. Your 3 top home run hitters, in fact, on the Texas Rangers. The Rangers already leading 8-4 tonight in a ball game that has featured 25 base hits. We'll finish looking at some out-of-town scores in this inning. Tampa Bay is homering up a storm in New York, leading 8-6 in the 9th. BJ up to number 5. Carlos Pena's hit a couple, numbers 6 and 7. And finally, Ben Zobrist, the Dallas Baptist product, has his first of the year. And has just gone final at 8-6. Tampa Bay wins on the road again.
Boy, to go into Yankee Stadium and beat them twice.
Now, the Yankees had been 13-3 at home. And yep, they've lost 2 in a row now. Tampa Bay goes to 17-4 on the road. They're 30-11 overall.
Amazing. Best team in baseball right now.
Yeah.
A lot of homegrown players too.
1-2 to Vlad Guerrero. Chop towards third. Tejada settles himself and throws out Vlad. Red Sox beat the Twins 6-2. Boston now 2 games over 500. Kevin Youkilis on a tear had a home run. John Lester a complete game win. And after a great start for Minnesota, Tag, Francisco Liriano loses again. He's down to 4-3. The Rangers will be going to Minnesota on this next road trip. Can I tell people about your stay in Minnesota coming up here? This is, I mean, you've never had a trip like this.
No.
You're going to get in Wednesday night from Kansas City, have a night off, got all day and all night off Thursday.
That's an off day.
That's right,
Yep,
scheduled
okay.
off day. You and I will actually work for a living, do the game on Friday.
Right.
Then you're off Saturday because it's televised on Fox.
Right.
You're off Sunday because it's televised on ESPN. And then
Right.
Monday's an off day. So you're working once in 5 days.
I know.
That's incredible.
Actually, if you look at starting with our off day Monday,
right,
and we go to Kansas City, I'm looking at it. I think I have 6 days off in 10 days in the middle of the season.
You don't get that in November.
That's unbelievable.
That could be 11 rounds of golf for you.
I know. And Kurt Deichert's not traveling. There's no one to play with.
I'm sorry.
I'll be sitting in my room.
Well,
yeah, I'll use all my clubs, though. I'll be banging them up against the curtains, chipping them over the bed. I have the wastebasket out.
Note to self, different floor than Tom.
Be using the toilet as like a water hazard. Fill up the bathtub.
Well, that hotel's going to love you.
Just leave my credit card so they can fix the room.
The 3-wood into the bidet for Tom Grieve as Josh Hamilton flies to center.
I'm just going to have to find some place, take a cab, and join a group somewhere. See if I can't find someone that's willing to play with me.
That little girl found something to play with and keep herself interested.
Yeah.
You could do that. Get you a little binky and just, Nelson Cruz to right to end the inning. No Sonic Slam winner. Scott Feldman and company leading 8. On the border, it's been a big night for Nelson Cruz. 3 hits, including a 3-run home run. The Rangers led 4-0 after 1 tonight. And Vladimir Guerrero with a 2-run homer in the second inning, his 9th of the year. And a lot of hitting for the Rangers tonight. We take it to the 3rd. David Murphy, RBI single. On to the 4th inning, Josh Hamilton getting it done. 8-4 Texas. And Scott Feldman ended up going 6 innings tonight for the Rangers when it looked like he might not make it through 5. Nicely done. And now a new Ranger pitcher to tell you about, Dustin Nippert, getting into his 18th game of the year.
That's a good spot for Dustin. Maybe give the Rangers a couple innings right here. And even though it won't go down as one of Scott's gems, he struggled early, but you love the way he finished the game, trying to get those extra 2 innings in there. Retired 6 out of the last 7 hitters. I think he actually threw better his last 20 pitches than he did at any time during the game. So even though when he looks at it, it's not going to look that great, 12 hits and 4 runs, I think he's got to feel good about the way he finished the last 2 innings.
Only 1 walk, even though he did allow the dozen base hits. The ERA advances a little bit up to 5.9, but he's on line to finally get that second win. One from Nippert to Scott. He is down and in. Plenty of support, obviously, for Feldman tonight. The only Ranger without a base hit right now is Joaquin Arias. Scott launching left center field. Long run. Josh Hamilton all the way back, and he almost had it. It fell out of his glove. He'll go get it. That would have been tremendous. But Luke Scott stays hot. He's got a double. Boy, 3 hits and a walk for Luke Scott tonight.
Boy, he went a long way for that ball, too. You talk about a big guy just flying through the outfield. Fearless when it comes to running into the wall. Actually had it right in the tip of his glove and just missed it. That would have been some kind of play, boy.
Right in the webbing and then out. And now Matt Wieters. Well, you got to be glad it's only a 2-game series against Baltimore, the way Luke Scott is swinging the bat. That gives him 20 hits in his last 10 games. In for a strike to Wieters. Some other scores real quick. The Royals beat the Indians 9-3. Jose Guillen, home run number 9. How about Alberto Callaspo? He had another one. He's got 7. The Mariners got 3 in the 9th to beat Toronto. Ken Griffey Jr. had a big hit. 4-3 the final. Jose Bautista, another home run for Toronto. He's now got 12.
That's one Toronto will be disappointed to let slip away. They're in 3rd place in the East. Actually could have tied the Yankees if they held on to win that game. Good pick.
Got him.
Went right after him, buzzed him 3 straight times with fastballs in.
I like the C.B. Buckner strikeout call, too. Nice and quick and authoritative.
Got the call. Wieters, I'm sure, didn't like the call.
Tigers beat the A's 5-2. Miguel Cabrera, home run number 9. So with the A's losing, if the Rangers win this game, they've got a 4-game lead in the West. Jack in the Box standings right now, it's a 3.5-game lead. See the Angels taking it to the beleaguered White Sox tonight. What a rough start for Seattle at 15-26. They were a trendy pick here in 2010. I'll give it to my partner, though. Back in spring training, you and I had the friendly disagreement about it. I thought Seattle would be as advertised, and you were not a believer.
Well, I wasn't a believer in the advertisement, but I thought they'd be better than they are. I thought their pitching would at least carry them to be a better team than they are right now.
I took the bait on that one. And they still might recover. They got talent.
Yeah, it's 25% of the season is over, so they've got plenty of time to change that.
I'm not rooting for it. It's just it could happen if they get hot. Up too high to Jones. Red Sox over the Twins, we mentioned earlier, 6-2, and Minnesota at 24-17. Detroit now at 24-17. So looking like, again, it could be quite a race between those two in the Central. High pop fly, and Joaquin Arias in his debut game at first base has been flawless over there. Mostly in support of Scott Feldman tonight. Our Coors Light freeze cam will show you a little bit of Scott Feldman.
Look at the location of his strikeouts. Both of these are curveballs out of the strike zone. In fact, so is that. 3 of them. Then a high fastball with good cutting action. And the same thing. A couple of high fastballs and good curveballs that were down and out of the strike zone that the hitters couldn't lay off of.
Darren Oliver now in the Ranger bullpen. He's been fantastic here in 2010. Fast one to Lou Montañez for a strike.
Good location with the fastball to Wieters. And then that first one to Montañez right in the inside corner. Same thing.
Yep, and right there, high up on the inside corner, strike 2. Getting close to the 7th inning stretch. Horses included. Towards first, Joaquin Arias. Looking like a cold glover
this time.
At the stretch, Rangers 8, Baltimore 4. game. 20,000 fans will receive a 2010 Rangers yearbook. And then after the game, Wade Bowen performing on the North Lawn, presented by Budweiser. Tickets are going very quickly. 972 Rangers, the number to call to get them. Or go online, TexasRangers.com. Jason Birkin stays on the mound, and, kind of quietly, Tom, he's done a really nice job of keeping the Rangers at 8. Keeping the Orioles within a cab ride of getting back here in this one.
He's thrown strikes. He hasn't walked anybody, hasn't struck anybody out. And he's thrown a number of pitches, but he's hanging in there.
Arias rolls to third. Still the only Ranger without a hit right now. Rangers will have to hit a little bit to get Nelly Cruz up one more time. A chance for the cycle tonight. A strike to David Murphy. Rangers in position to make it 10 of 11 at home. Just stinging the ball tonight. Base hit Murphy, his third of the night. Something about the month of May, the last 3 years now, as we look at Clay Meredith getting loose. Rangers always seem to get out kind of slowly in April, if not poorly. Then the calendar flips to May, and all is right with the world. They went 20-9 in May last year. Got a shot at something like that this year. Ball getting away. Murphy thought about it. Now he's going to go. And that ball's into left field. And no more advancing for David Murphy, although a nice little embarrassing moment happening for Baltimore.
Yeah, Scott just missed the ball.
Doesn't play a lot of first base. And that ball goes just whipping right by and not in the left. Officially an E3, second Baltimore error tonight. They had 2 yesterday as well. Trainer pops one up. Into the crowd of 17,304. The Rangers chased a talented young lefty, Brian Mattis, in the 3rd inning. Meantime, got 6 innings ground out by Scott Feldman tonight. Trainer towards short, and Murphy going to third base, and ill-advisedly he is tagged out. I'm sure David was thinking it was hit slowly enough that he could get there, and that would at least make his tourist consider not going his way, but his tourist got on it right away.
And his tourist is very quick hands, a little accurate flip. Easy out at third. So they erase the error. Man's right back at first base.
Now Elvis Andrus, who's hit safely in 18 out of 20. And for the first time as a big league ball player, Tom, probably for the first time even back to AA the year before, he's going to take the field tomorrow night and not be the youngest shortstop on the field. The Cubs coming in, Starlin Castro, their exciting young prospect. He's
it's not any fun getting old.
No. Yeah, but 21, he's kind of crested and about to go on down the hill. A lot of excitement with the Cubs coming in. And of course, that's the case wherever the Cubs go. Big crowds expected. possible sellout Saturday night. Again, get your tickets now if you don't have them. 972 Rangers. Andrews to right field and foul. When you don't see the Rangers that often, like the Chicago Cubs, one thing they'll be, I'm sure, just kind of shaking their heads about, because it doesn't get a lot of attention. It's not that important, but they'll look at the first two guys in the order, Andrews and Young, and say, boy, those two guys, they hit a ton of foul balls to right. They go deep in accounts, and then they look down and say, oh, and they're both hitting around 315, 320. Andrews and Young. Ball getting away. Trainer galloping down to second base. Well, twice now a Ranger has taken off, getting to second base this inning. Single and a walk for Elvis tonight. And another two-strike ballot. And just to finish up on the Cubs here, Tag, they're going to come in 4 games under 500. They had a 4-game losing streak, or excuse me, 4-game winning streak stop today in Philly. 19 and 23. And about 4 games out.
Well, if you look at their players individually in their lineup, they're a much better team than 19 and 23, did you say? Mm-hmm. They're a much better team than that. So, you know, on any given weekend, you can get a team playing against you that's a lot better than their record.
Wigginton recovers. Quick throw, not in time. Elvis Andrews beats it out. Again, Wigginton not a second baseman by trade. And that ball goes clanging off of him hard.
Yeah, that could be a base hit. That ball was hit hard. He blocked it. Couldn't get it in his glove.
It's a base hit. Dave Tremblay on his way out to make a pitching change, it would appear. Yep, Elvis with his speed beats it out. 15 Ranger hits tonight. And the Orioles indeed make a pitching change right now. We'll take a break, come back and tell you about the new Baltimore. Go to Jim Knox.
Progressive fan of the game. We're going to give it to the Boswell cheerleaders. They're still going strong. Take a break. That's it. Forget it. Rangers going to win this thing, Josh.
Well, boldly predicted by Jim Knox. Thank you. Thank you, Boswell.
I just got a voice message.
Yeah.
From my longtime roommate Jackie Brown, who's listening to our ball game. He said, on your off day, if you'll drive down to Shawnee, Oklahoma, I'll have a golf game for you. I haven't beaten any of my partners in a long time. I need somebody to beat.
All right, I'm going to calculate for you. I'm going to go to Google Maps and find out what the drive is from Minneapolis to Shawnee.
He thought we were, well, we are in Kansas City, but that's not our off day.
Yeah. Clay Meredith, and that is spelled correctly, no Y. C-L-A, Clay Meredith, will deal outside to Michael Young. Clay is short for Claiborne. That's actually his middle name. You want to know what his first name is?
Yeah.
Olise. O-L-I-S-E.
Huh. Never heard that name before.
Nope.
I wonder if it's a family name of some sort.
That would be my guess. He's from the Virginia Merediths.
Oh, now I
got see right. Yeah, now you got
that Meredith family.
Michael Young will take a swipe at the side armor here. Meredith was at VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond. We talked about them, the VCU Rams, when the Tigers were in with Brandon Inge. Runner going from first and just coasting on in there. No challenge at all. Elvis Andrus will get his 15th steal of the year. That's the easiest one he's had.
You know, there's a lot of hits in this game, and a 4-run lead is all the Rangers have right now. So if you feel like you can take that extra base, you're not breaking protocol on a 4-run game. Yeah, if they're going to give it to you like that, go ahead and take it. Michael a couple of RBIs if he rifles one into right field again.
And he has been the rifleman, especially on this homestand. By the way, Tag, it's almost a straight shot down I-35 if you want to go from Minneapolis to Shawnee, Oklahoma, to play with the old Oklahoma curveballer. 13 hours.
I'm just trying to think if that was really Brownie that was on the phone. He's usually in bed by about 7:30.
Michael Young to second base. Wigginton's got this one. And the Rangers will strand a couple, but they're leading 8-4 tonight at the end of 7. Ford F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Rangers leading 8-4. There is one defensive change to tell you about. I'll show it to you in just a moment as Cesar Izturis steps in. And Dustin Nippert still on the mound. Justin Smoke will take over at first base, and Joaquin Arias has his consecutive errorless games streak at first base intact at 1. Did a nice job there tonight. The all-time record, though, Mark Teixeira, 88 games in a row without an error at first. Most consecutive errorless games in the outfield in Ranger history. I'm sitting next to the guy. Tom Grieve, 183 in a row from April of 72 to June of 75.
Must have just been placed luckily when no one was hitting the ball out there. So I'm going to get another call from Jackie Brown saying I must have rigged the rule book to get that stat in there.
Nippert walks Izturis, the number 9 hitter. And Corey Patterson to the plate, but that's going to be it for Nippert. And you can see with the glove over his face, saying something to himself that he's displeased about following that leadoff walk.
You got 2 out of the next 3 hitters are left-handed hitters, Patterson and Markakis, so it's a good spot for Darren.
Oliver rolling on in with the Rangers leading 8-4 here in the 8th. Scott Feldman doing it himself tonight. He's going to point it out and then realize he's the closest guy to it. And that helped him get through 6 innings tonight. Online for a win. Scott's an underrated athlete. Made that play very easily. Darren Oliver comes out there now, and Darren just continues to impress. Has an ERA of 1.74. And trying to hold the Baltimore off the board here. It's an 8-4 game.
More strikeouts than innings pitched to go along with it. The other thing Darren's done is he's only walked 3 batters in 20 2/3 innings. 3 walks, 21 strikeouts, 7-to-1 ratio. Not many guys in the league can say that.
Nope. The Patterson top of the order. Had a 2 RBI double in the second. Got the Orioles going tonight. I was taking a little digging here, Tag, but if you're curious, I found the game where your errorless streak unfortunately met its demise.
Oh, no.
Yeah, in Chicago at Old Comiskey.
Okay.
After 183 games of perfect handling of baseballs, there was apparently a little issue with Mike Bassick Sr. out there on the mound.
Oh, man.
But it's
What a
okay.
shame.
It's okay. It did not figure necessarily in swinging the game either way. You guys were already getting crushed.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Jim Cott beat you guys that day in 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Well, at least we got it over with.
That was the essence of Jim Cott, right?
Yep.
Wave and a miss. Darren Oliver still going strong. And following the leadoff walk from Nippert to Asturias, here's a strikeout. Oliver gets Patterson.
Good cutter right there, tailing out of the strike zone. Patterson couldn't lay off it. Must have had dinner reservations that night on Rush Street. Had to get out of there quick.
That's not much of a restaurant town, is it?
No, not too much. They don't stay open very late either.
No, nothing ever happens in that city. Now, a little change. This time, Chicago coming here. The Cubs, not the White Sox, starting tomorrow. Rangers will be going to Chicago soon as well, but to play the White Sox. First 3 days of June. It's inside to Wigginton.
Hitters count right here, 2-0. See what Darren's got in store for him on that 2-0 count. Wigginton be looking for a fastball right here.
With the runner going, and very easily, as Torres right in there, just like Elvis Andrus in the bottom of the 7th. Now as Torres takes his turn in the top of the 8th. And a rare 3-0 count from Darren Oliver. Now pitching carefully maybe to Wigginton, who's been a hot hitter. Markakis comes up, and he's 0 for 5 lifetime against Aaron. Two walks in the inning as the Rangers try to protect an 8-4 lead. Five in a row missing from Darren. Markakis, as always, a very patient hitter. That one catching the outside corner. The Rangers have stranded 9 in this game, but so far that hasn't mattered as they lead 8-4. Baltimore has stranded 10. Darren trying to get out there again. And did not get the call. 2-1. Very rare indeed to see this happening from Darren Oliver. 7 out of 8 have missed now. The tying man is on deck. It's Miguel Tejada.
Yeah, you just hate to see 3 walks in a 4-run game and then Miguel Tejada batting. That's just not what you'd want to see. So Darren could come back and get him right here.
Nope, he's going to walk him, and Tejada now with one swing can tie this baby up. The Ranger bullpen, which has been so solid of late, a little bit iffy with the control here. And Mike Maddox, for the 7th time tonight, is on his way to the mound. Well, we talked about this yesterday with Tejada, and I guess we should bring it up again. The guy can hit into a double play or two. 5 of the last 6 years, he has led his league in grounding into a double play. And Darren Oliver's had good success against him in the past. Tejada just 4 of 18 for singles. So after the visit from the pitching coach, there is strike one. Rangers have led by 4 a couple times tonight. 4-0 and now 8-4 here. Again on Tejada. Darren Oliver quickly ahead 0-2.
Scott Feldman made a good pitch to get out of an inning to Tejada. Ran his two-seam fastball in on his fist. In fact, Tejada popped it up to him. That one was way inside.
Crowd of 17,000 plus getting into it now. Trying to make sure it stays 8-4. You got the hottest Orioles hitter going on deck, and Luke Scott. Again in on him, and he just guides it foul. The 0-2 again is popped foul. Tough to walk and tough to strike out when you're talking about Miguel Tejada. Puts it in play at just a ton. Tejada trying to check his swing and apparently did. His trainer goes and collects it. The inning started with Nippert walking his Taurus. And now 20 pitches after that, here's Darren Oliver still fighting through it. Bases loaded on walks for Baltimore. And the way Luke Scott is swinging the bat, well, you'd hate to think that Tejada's going to do anything productive here. A walk, a hit. You don't want Scott batting with a game closer than 8-4. To right field and foul again. Oliver not quite able to finish off Tejada. A couple of veterans having at it. And there is action now in the Ranger pen. Closer now.
Yeah, you hate to see in a game like this that the Rangers should have a little bit easier time of, that you got to get your closer up in the 8th inning. But Ron Washington saying, I'm not going to waste 8 runs.
There's that ground ball, but it's slowly hit. They're going to try and turn it anyway, and came close. It's a 5-4 fielder's choice, and now an 8-5 game.
Well, the big thing is get one out there. You give up a run, but you still have a 3-run lead.
RBI number 20 for Tejada, who did indeed hit it on the ground after all that, but too slowly. The run charge to Dustin Nippert. Oliver's got to deal with Luke Scott, who's been on base 4 times tonight. This is a guy that had the 2-homer game against Zach Greinke just a couple nights ago. First one is strike 1. Baltimore in danger of leaving 12 on base if indeed Oliver can get an out right here. He's on his way. It's 0-2. The outside strike. Very deliberate pace once again. We saw that with Feldman. Seeing it here with Darren Oliver. But it'll be worth the wait if Darren Oliver can get Luke Scott. And he got Scott. He is out of the inning. Rangers still leading by 3. Bottom of the 8th coming up, and we go to Dana Larson.
Josh, coming up after the game, as always, it is Rangers Live. The post-game edition will have player and manager reaction, expert analysis with Steve Busby. As a matter of fact, still plenty of time to text the analyst. If you have a question for Buzz, just text it to 57538. And also, as many as 125,000 expected here over the weekend for the Chicago Cubs. We will set up interleague play for you. That and much more coming up right after the game, guys.
Nice. Thank you, Dana, very much. Ian Kinsler leads it off as the Rangers try to build on an 8-5 lead. And Kinsler hits the first one he sees way up in the air towards left. Baltimore was threatening to do something nasty in the top of the 8th, but Darren Oliver was able to wiggle out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened all 7 times that Mike has gone to the mound, but my quick reaction is the pitchers have responded well to the visits to the mound. No, Scott did a couple of times. Darren, after 2 walks, then quickly got 2 outs. Little ground ball and a strikeout.
And if the Rangers don't score again, it is now a save situation for Neftali Feliz. 3-run game heading into the 9th. Rangers need to get a base runner to get Nelson Cruz one last shot at the cycle. He started out with the homer, the double, and the single in the first 4 innings tonight. Six, 7, 8 part of the order due for Baltimore, by the way, in the 9th. That ball crushed into center, base hit.
You get him swinging wildly at a pitch and not looking too good at the plate during an at bat, and then bang, a rope.
2 more hits here at home for Vlad, so his home batting average this year is .397.
See how far the other ones are out of the strike zone, and he makes a mistake and throws one in the strike zone.
And Dave Tremblay on his way out. It's been Mattis and Birkin and Meredith in the game so far. Now we're going to looking for more with Josh Hamilton batting. There's a pinch runner that we'll tell you about in just a moment as well. Alberto Castillo was brought on to face Josh yesterday late in the game and ended up walking him. Julio Borbon is the pinch runner, and he shuttles on back to first. Vlad Guerrero ends the night 2 for 5. Hamilton found himself behind 0-2 to Castillo last night and just kind of kept on leering at pitches that were near the outside corner. They never were called strikes. And Josh put himself in a position where the next guy could then win the game instead, and Nelson Cruz did just that with a sac fly. Very selfless at bat from Hambone in the ninth. That one smacks in there from Castillo, who's an amazing story. We talked about it a bit yesterday. This guy devised his own plan to defect from Cuba when he was 18, and he wasn't planning on defecting until he got to Windsor, Ontario, Canada, where the tournament that Cuba was in was going on. He just decided right there, you know what, I'm going to defect. And somehow he did that, and then tried to enter the U.S. a little bit after that. Tried to get in by taking a ferry from Windsor to an amusement park on a little island there near Detroit, which was on the U.S. side. And he got off with a real large crowd, thought he could just kind of slip right in, but he was picked out and pulled aside by customs. They sent him back to Canada. And he finally got in contact with a baseball agent who worked with some immigration connections, got him in legally to the U.S. And from there, a 15-year odyssey began to get to the big leagues. And it took 15 years for him to get to the big leagues.
Good for him.
Independent ball, Mexican League. Pitched for 6 different independent league teams. Hamilton comes through against Castillo again. Little dribbler into center field. Bourbon to third with only one out.
Oh, 2 more hits for Josh.
Makes him 6 of 11 since that day off.
Pitch outside, actually not even a strike. When Josh doesn't try to hit it too hard, he's just trying to make contact with 2 strikes and places it right up the middle.
Nelson Cruz will get a chance to hit. And if he gets a triple, he will have the cycle. And the Rangers will have an even more comfortable lead. I guess the question now, Tom, if the Rangers do extend the lead, do you still give the ball to Neftali Feliz?
Well, they've got a couple of guys warming up. Feliz is warming up. Not sure if that's Moscoso. And I think
it is, yeah.
Depending on what happens this inning is who you're going to see.
Another base hit for Nelson Cruz. Ooh, and had it got by, maybe.
Yes, sir.
But it didn't get by. No triple. A single. It's 9-5. 4 hits for Nelson Cruz.
Night.
Yep.
4 hits and 4 RBIs.
Boy, to have 30 runs batted in right now. Remember, he missed 15 games on the DL. There is Moscoso, and it does look now like it will be his 9th inning instead of Feliz's. First at bat now for Justin Smoke. Almost hit by the pitch. Again, with the A's having lost earlier today, the Rangers in a position where they can go to 4 games up in the AL West. And the Angels, by the way, are now clinging to a lead in Chicago. It's down to 6-5 in the 8th inning. Smoke rams one into center field. It is 10-5.
That's a good feeling for Justin. He's not worried about it, but people are mentioning that his average against left-handed pitching is not what he'd like it to be, but that goes in the right direction with a rope up the middle.
Had been 1 for 25 swinging the bat right-handed, but boy, no doubt if he bangs this one into center. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, is out there to talk to Castillo. 19 hits for the Rangers tonight. That's 4 straight one-out hits for the Rangers now. The hope, anyway, now that it's 10-5, it would appear that this run of 1-run wins might be coming to an end. You're hoping you're not looking at a 10-9 situation tonight.
Well, you know, in this kind of a game, you don't really want to use your closer unless you have to. Rather make sure he's got another day off as you go into the big weekend series against the Cubs.
Outside to Murphy. I'd like to welcome the Cubs, who are already in town, I do believe. Kicking it at the hotel.
But a good night for David. David's had 3 hits tonight. Everyone in the lineup has at least a hit. Except Bourbon, who pinch ran.
Outside to Murphy. Oh, the Orioles, who have been offensively challenged tonight. They got 13 hits themselves, and they'd still have another inning to go, but they have given up 19. Rangers have not had a game yet this year with 20 hits. They got a shot.
The biggest difference in the game are the 2 long balls. Cruz had a 3-run homer. Vlad had a 2-run homer.
That was exactly the difference in the game if you add it up. All the way back to the screen. And it's going from bad to worse here for Baltimore. They're heading towards being 6-26 in their last 32 on the road. Baltimore faded badly down the stretch last year, and that's happened a lot for them over the years. Horrible finishes. They had a 13-game losing streak in late September last year. Ended up 5-20 in September, not too long after a 4-24 September a few years before that. That's got to be tough. You're already out of it. Then you roll up the 13-game losing streak. With the infield in, Murphy sweeps another one foul. That 1972 Rangers team had a little something like that going, right? right at the end.
That was 1970. We lost 14 straight. We might have in 72. I'm not sure, but
you're remembering back in Washington.
Yeah, 1970 in Washington, we lost the last 14 games of the year. I'm not sure what we did in 72, but it's entirely possible.
Murphy down on strikes. I'm looking at a 3-23 September for your 72 Rangers.
I guess we didn't gain much in the standings that month. Did we?
Well, although, you know what? In October, y'all were 2-1, so way to go. But too little, too late.
We didn't expect to be playing in October that year.
I think it's called playing out the string.
There's actually a schedule in October?
Yeah, there was a first, second, and third scheduled. But good job winning 3 in September, though.
I don't know how we did it.
You won as many as the Cowboys won that September.
Mike Paul and Rich Hand must have shut someone out 1-0 that month.
You guys were actually competitive against the Orioles that year. At 6-6, the Orioles were very good. Matt Trainer drives one left field. That ball taken off. Gone for Trainer. 13-5. And a 20-hit barrage for the Rangers tonight.
Well, baseball is such a funny game. The Rangers in a 4-run game walk the bases loaded from Miguel Tejada, and you're kind of holding your breath a little bit. One swing of the bat by Tejada, you might have a tie ball game. Next thing you know, Darren pitches out of that inning, and the Rangers come back and score 5 runs here in the 8th inning, and it's an entirely different kind of game.
Second of the year for Matt Trainer. And a 5-run 8th inning here for the Rangers. Glenn Hurtley and Kinsler liking that. Rangers did not have a 20-hit game last year. You'd figure if the team has 20 hits, Elvis Andrus is in the mix. He's had 2 of them. And as Rudy Jaramillo, the longtime Rangers hitting coach, gets settled back in the Metroplex for the weekend, he turns on the TV and says, wow, 20 hits for the guys that I trained so well.
I said everybody in the lineup had a hit. Joaquin didn't have a hit. He got on an error in the first inning, had a sacrifice in the second. But Justin Smoke, who came in for him, got a base hit.
High fly ball from Elvis Andrus. Yeah, it did get in the crowd. And more action now in the Baltimore bullpen. The former NBA player, Mark Hendrickson.
And Castillo's had to throw 25 pitches to get one out.
Another hard hit foul to the right side. And again, if you're looking for tickets, want an Elvis Andrus foul ball, you can get something on the right side about midway up. You got a shot. Castillo he'll go get it. Just in time to finally get Elvis Andrus and finally draw the curtain shut on a 5-run 8th inning. It is a 13-5 lead for the Rangers. Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. By Progressive, for a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. And by the Ford F-150, check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. That is correct. 13-5. The Rangers have the lead, and Guillermo Moscoso, who was pitching very well as a starter down in AAA, will come out of the bullpen now, and we'll see what he can do about getting the Rangers on out of here in the top of the ninth. 10 games as a Ranger last year. What are we waiting for?
Waiting for a hitter.
It will be a pinch hitter after all that waiting around. It's going to be Craig Tatum for Matt Wieters. He was just informed.
Safe to say he had no idea he was going to be pinch hitting.
That's what it looks like.
That's like walking up to the first tee without taking a practice swing, hoping you hit it in the fairway.
Tatum, who got some time with the Cincinnati Reds last year, the Hattiesburg, Mississippi native. And now Moscoso can go to work with an 8-run lead in the ninth.
Good fastball right in the corner, 92 miles an hour.
Scott Feldman, the pitcher of record for the Rangers, in range for his second win of 2010. He had 17 wins last year. Tatum's going to foul one into what's left of the crowd here tonight. Colby Lewis pitches tomorrow against Ted Lilly. 3-game series against the Cubs. Just the second trip in for the Cubs to the ballpark in Arlington. Interleague play as the Rangers matched up mostly against the NL Central this year. Boy, Tatum on 0-2, having no idea he was even going to be hitting at all. Just drops one in the right field. Gets congrats from T-Bone Shelby over there at first. That'll get Adam Jones to the plate. Feldman went 6 innings tonight. And looked for a while in that 5th inning like he might not get out of the 5th inning. 3 straight hits to start, but then he closed real well. It started with Adam Jones on the fly to right. Then he got the first 2 outs quickly in the 6th. He did give up a single to Markakis, but then got Tejada to pop out. And there you have your 6 innings of work for Scott Feldman.
Well, and when he looks at the overall line, he might not say that he's happy with it, but when you look at the way he finished over the last 6 outs, I think he does have to feel pretty good about it, because that, I think, is as well as he threw the whole game, or probably the last 25 pitches. And he's in line to get a win, which is good. He finished the game strong, which is good, and that's something you can build off for your next start. Moscoso hasn't pitched in over a week. When he was called up to the big leagues, he was in Oklahoma City's rotation, and had he pitched the day he got to Toronto, he would have been pitching on 3 days rest. He didn't pitch that day. Of course, he missed the first 2 games of this series.
Boy, another 0-2 base hit. Doesn't anybody want to go home? Tatum rolls around and scores. It's now 13-6. Adam Jones, having been 0 for 4, now 1 for 5. And Lou Montañez will come up.
It's not a terrible pitch. It's down, but it's in the center of the plate. Breaking ball. You can make what you think is a pretty good pitch, but big league hitters can hit.
Montañez 2 for 4. Everything's been a strike from Moscoso. 7 pitches, all of them in the zone. But unfortunately, as of right now, his ERA this year is infinity.
He needs an out.
It's another 0-2 count.
They just got to concentrate on making a good pitch right here. I think he's looking, and saying, I've got a 7-8 run lead. I'm just going to challenge the hitters and throw strikes, and you got to applaud him for that. That's what he's done. The Orioles have just hit a couple of pitches.
Strike 3. 9 pitches, 9 strikes.
And that was a quality strike. That wasn't one that the hitter could hit, that's for sure. 0-2. Pounded him in near the strike zone, and gets the call.
Rangers entered this inning leading 13-5. There's already been one 7-run 9th inning in baseball today. That was Atlanta to walk off and win against Cincinnati, but even a 7-run inning here would not be enough. It would take him from 13-5 to 13-12. Strike on the outside corner. Don't forget, Rangers Live after the game. A lot of hitting to talk about tonight. How about the Orioles? They got 15 hits tonight, and they're losing by 7 runs.
2 big innings. 4-run inning first. Inning in the first, and 5-run inning in the 8th.
That one getting away from Moscoso. Cesar Izturis will be awarded first base. And Mike Maddox, the maximum number of times he can go out there, since he doesn't make pitching changes, is 9. And this is number 8.
Well, it'd be a unique incentive clause, but maybe there's an incentive clause.
The more FaceTime for Mike Maddox.
You know, he just wants to go out. Rangers have a big lead, but he wants to calm Guillermo down, tell him everything's all right, pat him on the chest, say, go get him, big guy. Calming influence.
Moscoso gets the top of the order now. Patterson. Lefties did not hit well against Moscoso in the minors last year. Hit 192. A quick update of that Angels game for you. They're in the 9th, bottom of. Angels leading 6-5. The A's having lost today. If the Rangers do indeed win this one, it's a 4-game lead in the West as the Cubs come to town. A's will be playing the Giants, by the way, over the weekend. Barry Zito gets to go back and pitch in Oakland tomorrow. Boy, Barry Zito's having a great year, huh? 6-1.
Yeah, and Zito struggled after signing that huge contract. But he's kept a good attitude. He's worked at it. And it's nice to see him bouncing back with a big year.
All right, this is officially getting annoying here. The Rangers had a tough time throwing strikes in the 8th. They walked 3. And now up 13-6 in the 9th. A hit batsman and a 4-pitch walk. And Ty Wigginton will be the batter. The Rangers will look to maybe get the bullpen going again. We'll get Neftali up.
Guillermo came into the game and he's got a big lead, and I'm sure he's saying, I just got to pound the strike zone. They got a couple of hits. Now he's having to pitch a little bit. And he's just struggling a little bit, but comes right back there with a strike. Got Wigginton to swing and miss at it.
He's a ground ball away from ending the ball game right here if it's right at somebody. Turn 2. There have been a lot of dramatic 9th innings this year regarding the Rangers. They really haven't had a blowout win yet all year. This sure looked like one. And you'd hate to think that when you're up 13-5, finally, a score like that in the 9th inning, that once again you're looking at bringing in the stopper. There have already been 2 hits this inning on an 0-2 count.
Well, that was a good 0-2 pitch right there. Pitch out of the strike zone. Got him to offer at it, but he was able to foul it off.
A little bit in.
Close. That was a strike to Martinez. Similar type pitch inside. Just didn't get the call. And it was inside, no doubt about it.
With the bases loaded, the 1-2 from Moscoso. Nope, 2-2. Again, Scott Feldman waiting for his victory. He'd go to 2-4. Brian Mattis would drop to 2-4. He did not get out of the 3rd inning tonight. Moscoso got him.
He put in a good pitch. Got the ball to sink a little bit, threw it down in the strike zone. And got a 2nd strikeout of the inning, and If he can get Markakis right here, you get out of the inning with only 1 run and will have done a good job. .22 pitches so far. A little different role for him. Remember, he was a starting pitcher in Oklahoma, hasn't pitched in a week, but he's thrown a lot of strikes.
The Orioles in danger of stranding 15 tonight in a 9-inning game. That's the hope for Moscoso, who's about to throw his 24th pitch. Well, you mentioned it earlier. I mean, there's certainly a rust factor to consider here. A weird travel day that got him back to the big leagues in the first place. Oklahoma City through Detroit, on to Toronto. It was weirder for Pedro Strop because the next morning he had to take that same route going back.
No problem getting there, but going back would be not as much fun. All right, come back and get him now. 3-0.
Yeah, some loyal fans here. They want to see that last out.
They want to see the end.
It's a school night. It's a work night.
They're going to see it.
A bases loaded walk, and it's 13-7. Five walks and a hit batsman in the last 2 innings, and all of that with a huge lead.
Well, if you're going to do it, that's the time to do it with a huge lead.
Wow. Moscoso will not finish the ball game. And with the Cubs coming in, and the Cubs are playing pretty well, now the Rangers will have to burn their closer tonight. Now the fans that did stick around, at least they're rewarded with a Neftali Feliz sighting. You will come in to try to get that final out in a 13-7 game. From where they actually do play and have scores like 13-7 sometimes. Neftali Feliz has already been up a couple times, and now is actually in the ball game, and almost, believe it or not, a safe situation when the tying man is on deck. That is a safe situation. Not quite here at 13-7. The Rangers, having built a 13-5 lead, have coughed some of that back in the top of the ninth, but Neftali will see if he can ring up one more strikeout to that tote board right there. He's going to go after Miguel Tejada. Tejada always swings hard like he means it. Believes, obviously, with that 100-mile-an-hour heat. It's a fun matchup. It's been an uncomfortable ninth inning. A pair of 0-2 base hits. A hit batsman, the number 9 batter, getting hit by a pitch, and then back-to-back walks, one with the bases loaded. And that last one after the count had been 0-2. First one very high. Well, the Rangers went from the second inning all the way into the 8th without allowing a walk at all. But then 3 last inning, 2 this inning. A high pop fly, that should do it. Justin Smoke calling and foul. Ground ball game. 13-7 Rangers. And they continue to dominate here at home. They have won 10 of 11 here. 2-game sweep of the Angels, 2-game sweep of the Orioles, and it's now ready for the Cubs. We're ready for Rangers Live, too. It's coming up in just a moment. 13-7, Texas, your final.